What's going on, everybody? Sorry for the delay. I apologize. I had wanted to start the show at 11 on the dot, but then something came up, and then as that was happening, then I had to take care of the fam real quick, and make sure everybody's good. So we are here now, though. Happy Saturday! Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for patiently waiting. For those who have been here, once again, I apologize for my tardiness. Um, Hopefully, everybody's doing good on this Saturday morning. It's always good to wake up after a Nick victory in our second home, DC. And shout out to the MBK crew holding it down once again, representing for the Nick community, the Nick fam. I thought they might bring some good mojo, and they did. And the Knicks, in typical Knicks fashion, wanted to give it away, but it's okay. Hey, this is how it is, man. It's how the Knicks roll. It's how they do their thing. We all should be used to it by now, right? Ain't nothing easy with the Knicks. Oh man. Yeah, Andy. Yeah, I'm doing some stuff, man. Going through some things. So whenever you think you're ready to go, something happened, you got to drop everything and do what you got to do. And then I come back. I reset. It's been a little different lately. Before it was me being late because you know just got a couple different things to get in order. Now it's like if something happened, I got to drop what I'm doing. So, but we okay. We good. Appreciate you. Salute to you, my brother. Good to see you. Um, Shout out to Geraldine McIver, the first lady of Still Nick fans and the Nick community. Let's go. We here now. We here now. Dripmore is in the building. Um, Salute to you, my brother. He is the Still Nick fans barber and the barber of the Knicks community. Whether or not you used him or not, every time you go get a haircut, you better think of Dripmore. All right. And then maybe if you can, you need to seek this brother out and see where his shop is so you can get one of them Nick cuts, man. Specialités. And if you don't know how to find them, Dripmore has a YouTube page. Just search up Dripmore. You find the shop, find out what he's got going on, man. He's a maestro with the blades. Cup of Joe, or Joanne, whichever. We gender friendly over here. See that? It's a true story. That's right. Deron Wayne's in the building. Salute to you, my brother. Appreciate you. Good to see you as always. Bad Mojo 1860 is here. Salute. Already got Andy. A Train's in the building. Salute. Salute to you, my brother. Cormega is here. What's goody? Salute. JJ is in the building. Yeah, man. It's NFL wildcard weekend. It's gonna be crazy. Look. Let me just say this for my fellow Giant fans out there. This Giant team has a lot of heart, and I think they've been coached really well. That's why I hope, I know it has to happen because that's how the NFL works. I hope we don't lose any coaches. I hope we don't lose Kafka. I know everybody's looking at him. I know Dable's probably, he won't go nowhere. I mean, he's got a head coaching gig already. And it's just to get the Giant head coaching job. Things are going well. It's a job you don't want to leave. But I don't want to lose Kafka. So I hope they keep him. Let him get his interviews. He deserves it. He's been great. But hopefully he stays around to see what he can do here with these G-men. And I also don't want Wink to go anywhere either on the defensive side, because let me tell you something. Wink has done masterful job with the defense, and we're talented at some point at certain positions, but there's other issues that we have on this defense still. We have a number one corner. We don't really have a solid number two. We lost our free safety, and we lost our strong safety for a bit. And then the linebacker core is, very suspect. I appreciate these guys, but you know what I mean? The Giants haven't had like really top A1 linebackers in a very long time. And it's hard to get that, contracts and everything, because you could draft one, but to keep everybody with all this money, you got Leonard Williams making good money and all this stuff. This, it's tough. But if they could get like a speedy linebacker who's about that business with what they got now, and maybe get a solid number 2 corner, watch out for that defense, man. Well, we'll see. Anyway, so my hope and expectation is that the Giants win tomorrow's game. After that, I don't know. I don't have expectations. If they do something, if they can win tomorrow, I'll be happy. And I'll think this is a really good Giants season for us because, like I said, they don't have the greatest amount of talent. Defense is a little bit more solid than offense. Offense, you guys know. I mean, Saquon's great. Daniel Jones has been really good in how they're using him. The wide receiver core, I mean, come on, man. I respect all these guys. They have been doing a great job. But this is not a top-notch A1 wide receiving core compared to other teams around the league. Like, you can win with these guys, in the interim. But when you're trying to win big games, the experience levels may not be that big of a deal. But it's when the defense tries to show you different looks that maybe you're not that comfortable with. You haven't seen it too often. How many times you take first snaps with the take snaps with the first offense? Stuff like that. Now, I know our guys have played a lot more than maybe other backups, but I don't know. All right, that's my long-winded Giants rant. I expect and hope that the Giants will win tomorrow. After that, I don't know. But I'd be very happy with that. And it'll shut my boy L Train up too. All right. Let me see. Stafford Don in the building. More fire rhythm beats. Slow down. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you, man. Good to see you as always. Hope everything's going good on your end. Cash Out gold all in my, you know what I mean? What up, Cash Out? Appreciate you, bro. Let's go. Sherwin is in the building. Good morning, brother. Hopefully you're doing all right. I appreciate you. Yeah, I agree, Geraldine. Like tomorrow could be tough, but the Giants have a good shot to win because Minnesota is similar to the Giants in that both teams played really well this year as far as record-wise, but there's just a lot of things going on there. Like Minnesota gives up the most points in the NFL. So you really got a chance to if you play your cards right, you might be able to get them. I appreciate you, A-Train. Yeah, man. All right. So hopefully the connection is good. Deshaun Wilson in the building. What's good, my R&B brethren? What's happening, bro? Appreciate you. Hopefully things are going good on your end. And shout out to all of the talented artists in the Knicks community once again, man. I know it ain't easy. You guys have a gift, the talent, and it's tough going to get recognized. It's tough going to really get put on and do what you got to do to fulfill your passion. It's a grind, and I know a lot of y'all just keep at it, man. So salute to all y'all. Deshaun Wilson, no different. Appreciate you. Almighty Finesse is in the building. Salute. What's good? Appreciate you, my brother. Sorry. Yeah. So let's get it cracking. Let's hit the intro, and we'll come back and we'll get it going from there, man. Talk this Knick talk. Yes, 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 yes. We are back, man. We are back. Shout out to all my Williamsburg brethren, sisters, and soldiers out there. Um, I don't try to talk about too many political type issues or anything on this show. And when I do, I always feel a little bit uncomfortable because, a lot of people don't try to talk about stuff or take stands because we don't want backlash and stuff because people are very sensitive and everybody's strongly opinionated, and it's okay to have an opinion or a difference of opinion as long as you're respectful and understand things. But I just want to shout out something real quick, and maybe this is something that you guys have dealt with where you're from and in your neighborhoods. um I grew up in Williamsburg, and Williamsburg is a melting pot of different um ethnicities. And so you have, areas that are, Italian based. You have areas that are Puerto Rican, areas that may be Dominican or, African American. And we all fit together. We all mix together. That's what makes it special because, like, when you're young and you're not knowing, you travel to different places, you don't know people, you are cautious because it's just different. Like, but as you get older and you grow up in communities, everybody starts to know each other, they start to feel comfortable around each other. We all mix together and we become like a really good community. And that's what Williamsburg is to me. It's got a little gentrified, over the past few years. Things have changed. Money is definitely booming in this area. You know, uh, uh, Things have become very like Manhattan like. So, but the point is, there's an area, and it's called, and there's a street sign called Graham Avenue, Avenue of Puerto Rico, right? And so, for many years, for whatever reason, because the developers have been trying to bring in different clientele and make the area look a certain way, they've been trying to take that street sign down, and basically give the area a different feel to support the almighty dollar. And yesterday, they took the sign down, and let me tell you, the only reason why I'm long story short, I'm bringing it up because they took the sign down right early in the day. By the afternoon, the sign that they took down, they put up just Graham Avenue. They put the original sign back up by the afternoon because there was so much outrage. Because this is what the area is. Like, you just can't change the area and make it something it isn't, just to suit your narrative so you can get your money and keep building your developments and bring in a different clientele. It's not how you do things. It's not right. Yeah. So anyway, I just thought that that was one of those things that was messed up. But then again, it was also beautiful to see how people fought together, spoke up. Some city council people made their voice known. So shout out to the area. Shout out to Graham Avenue, Williamsburg. Appreciate y'all. You know how we do it. Anyway, uh, get out of here. No, you didn't, Andy. Whatever. Are you serious? I don't even know how you know Berry Street. You probably Googled it. Andy, you trolling, bro. um, who else we got here? Source One is in the building. Source One, what's good? Lions of Judah. Shalom, my brother. Appreciate you. Blessings to you as well. Thank you. Keith Turner's in the building. Salute, salute. My guy, Walter Blackman, is here. Salute to you, my brother. Appreciate you as always. Thank you for tuning in. Ashley Inc. What up, Wiz? Appreciate you. Yeah, yeah. Wait, so Wiz, are you from East Flatbush? I don't know if I ever heard you say anything about that. I know you out there on the West Coast, but I don't know if I heard you say that. If that's the case, salute, my brother. Appreciate you. I didn't know. Hey, Drip More. Thank you. Yeah, man. My Boricuas, man. Stand up for real, man. Um, Although I will say, Andy, you are the ultimate troll. But if that is true, let me know, man, because that would be crazy to find that out. That would be nuts if you actually grew up. Oh, get the Andy, that's crazy, bro. That's nuts. That is wild, man. Who knows? Maybe I seen you in the street one time growing up as a kid and we never knew each other. That's nuts. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Okay. I got you. All right. I hear you, my brother. Okay. Okay, Wiz. Yeah. Almighty finesse. You go over there now. I don't know what you're gonna see, B. So be careful. That building is maybe it's it's still standing, but nowadays all these buildings have been chopped down and these big buildings have taken over. It's crazy. All right, so enough about that. Okay, you went to Winthrop. All right, and then Brooklyn Tech. Okay, yeah. Look at this. Look at the Knick community showing the love and showing where they built their roots. It's nice. That's good. That's interesting. I can't believe that, bro. All this time, me knowing Andy, never knew we grew up in the same neighborhood. Wild. All right, man. See, guys, you learn something every day, man. The community is interesting. All right. So, listen, guys. Things don't change. The Knicks are going to always make it interesting, guys. They don't know how to win gracefully. I don't know what it is. They can't just look. When's the last time we've seen a wire-to-wire blowout? I know the Knicks had one this year. Actually, it's probably not that long ago because the Phoenix game was pretty much a blowout, and they held that down. But Phoenix didn't have a lot of fight in them at all. See, the thing is, all you got to do against the Knicks is fight till the end, and Phoenix didn't have a lot of fight in them at all. So maybe they would have had a shot to make that game close too. And I think that's kind of one of the not a scouting report, but maybe it is a scouting report on the Knicks. Like, after everything is said and done, no matter what happens, if the Knicks have a lead on you going into the fourth, don't give up. Keep going because they're not great at closing. Maybe that's part of the scouting report. I wouldn't be surprised. So it's one of those things to think about, that the Knicks might have to get some things going, man. They need some work on that. It's just crazy, because the more and more you play around in the fourth quarters of games, you're gonna, you're winning right now, but you're gonna lose some of these games. You keep giving people shots. Anyway, let me share what it looked like over here. All right. So, in case you guys didn't have a chance to see the game or the replay or anything, Knicks did win the game 112 to 108. The game was semi-close, but it wasn't this close. The Knicks had a nice little, I don't know, 8 or 9 point lead. And I don't know what was the highest lead, but they had a decent lead that they could have closed out the game and probably built upon it. A couple defensive stops. The other team gets a little desperate, starts to foul you a little bit. You hit a couple free throws, the lead goes up, and then the other team says, "You know what? We ain't gonna catch up." But that's not the case. Instead, the Knicks, decided to do Knick things and give up some threes. Don't get me wrong. Some of them were like, I think Porzingis took a wild three. He didn't hit that one, but they just start jacking them up and seeing what can happen because they know the defense is not that great when it comes to stopping 3-point shooting. Kyle Kuzma hit a really tough three in the corner too, and somebody was draped over him. I forgot who it was. So sometimes you got to be aggressive, but you also get a little lucky. Let's see. Let's have the box score up. Okay. Well, let me look at Washington first and see what they had going on. Kyle Kuzma had 40 points. Yeah, that's when Kyle Kuzma is going like that, you know, he's a very tough one to stop. The problem is some people see this Kyle Kuzma and think this is who Kyle Kuzma is, and he's not this guy. He can be this guy. He has moments throughout the season, different times, and he goes on nice little runs. He might have, you know, a spurt of games where he'll give you numbers in the 30s and the 40s, maybe. But for the most part, he's not this guy. So you got to think about that. And I'm just bringing it up because I know he's been in a lot of trade talks. You can't go into trading for Kyle Kuzma thinking that you're getting this guy. He has the ability to be this guy, but do you think you're getting this guy? You may be disappointed. And two, the other thing is you got to watch the Washington Wizards, because when they're trying to trade Kyle Kuzma, they're trying to trade him thinking that you think you're getting this guy. So the asking price is that much higher. So he's an interesting one, though, but he definitely has a lot of talent. You know, he was 14 for 27, 51%, 4 of 10 from 3, 40%. 8 of 9 from the free throw line. He had 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 block, and 40 points. You know, just saying, that's not bad. Not bad at all. Kristaps in his return after his comments. And I wonder how you guys feel about what Kristaps said. Let's see. I mean, he was 6 of 19. He didn't shoot that well from the field. 4 of 8 from 3, 50%. 5 of 6 from the free throw line. He had 4 rebounds. I mean, for a 7'3" guy, 4 rebounds in 34 minutes. 1 assist, and then he finished with 21 points. And then Corey Kispert finished with 13. And that's, in essence, you know, shows you Washington's problem. You got Kyle Kuzma, you got Kristaps Porzingis, and then what's left? That's why this team struggles. And unfortunately, Rui Hachimura, who, when drafted and coming out, everybody thought that he was going to be a really special player. We haven't really seen it consistently from him. He gets hurt a lot, and then he's just not as consistent when he's on the court. He might have a good stretch of games where he's in the teens in scoring, but never really anything like you can say that Rui's game is ready for the next level, you know? So, yeah. And this is another thing. After saying that, looking at this guy, you got Taj, who played almost 12 minutes, 11 minutes. Shout out to Taj. You know, DeLon Wright, Avija. Although Avija can score, he has moments, but look at this, 25 minutes. He had 3 points. Jordan Goodwin. Looking at this roster, the Knicks should have won this game. Thankfully, they did, but like I said, they don't make it easy. Okay. So going up to what the Knicks had going on, and let me just see what's going on in the chat. Shout out to E. Gibson. Salute to you. Appreciate you. He said, struggling to close out games can be attributed to poor free throw shooting, etc., but it's also our lack of depth and bench support. The starters have to log heavy minutes. Very true. Although no, because Tibbs is still short in the rotation, but some of those minutes should come down a little bit, you know, and it looks like for the most part they have, because we saw, you know, Julius would be playing plus 40. Grimes was playing 40. If RJ was out there healthy, and he would have been playing around 40. But, you know, instead they're playing 32, 35. Mitchell played 28. Grimes played 32. Brunson played 40, but Brunson was on one. So I know Tibbs is like, oh, that's my hot hand. I got to keep him in there. Quickly played 32. So, yeah. I hear you, though. JJ says Kuzma is better than RJ today. Probably so. That's probably true, because as inconsistent as Kuzma can be, he's still more consistent than RJ. He's usually a little bit more efficient too. And let's not forget, I mean, Kuzma's taller and length. He has more length. Um, he does get rebounds. Kuzma can rebound. Kuzma can put up. He can give you 16 rebounds on a given night. Like he can get it. And he is good at moving the ball around too. So Kuzma's a pretty good player. Um, and on the defensive side, he's better than RJ. Not like light years better, but he's very adequate defensively. So yes, he is better than RJ. That's not a knock on RJ. That's just the truth. That's just how it is. All right, calm down, Andy. Don't be trying to throw Josh Uncle Julio in there. now you're trying to stunt with the McCarran Park. I see you. I see you. No, Uncle Julio was not over there. Okay. Line of Judah said, I'm from Bed-Stuy and I was just up in Brooklyn a month ago. See how it changed, man. I remember the white people couldn't come to the side. Things change, man. Yeah, now it's very gentrified. But I say like now we're at a good place. And I'll be honest, this is it's not a race thing, it's a class thing and just a comfortability thing. Because when they were trying to gentrify the area back in the day, it was a little pretentious. It was a little crazy. I was feeling a certain way. I remember I was walking on the street. This is a quick story, guys, getting back into the Knicks. I was walking down the street, going to the store. And there was a couple people ahead of me who you could tell didn't grow up in the area, right? But they had come to be with a friend who lived here. Not someone that grew up in the area, but she had just got here not too long. Maybe she's been here for a year or whatever. And she was like, yeah, neighborhood is changing, man. There's a bar on every block. It's just getting crazy over here. And I had to chuckle to myself because I'm like, what are you talking about? You know nothing about being here. Like, I actually grew up here. I was born here. I left. I came back. Left and came back again. But I basically spent 30 plus years of my life in that area. So it was just wild to see. And like, it was these, people who moved here nowadays, they have no idea of what the neighborhood really was, the beauty of the neighborhood, the mom and pop stores. Like everything was just different. You go out partying or whatever, you come home, you go to the bakery on the corner and you get yourself a nice, cafe con leche with a pan, toasted with the butter. Or you get yourself a ham and cheese on the same bread, that soft bread that they made. Like, it's just different, man. Like, we don't have that anymore. There's certain things we used to have that are just gone, and that mom and pop feel is just done. All our, like, every area's got like good restaurants for certain types of food, right? We had a really good Chinese restaurant. The food was banging. They even had to leave because they couldn't afford paying the rent. Like, it's just whatever, man. All right. Got me in my emotions, man. Stop. Yeah, man. That's how it is. Let me see. May 4th is in the building. Appreciate you. Oh, okay. I was trying to see who you was talking about, but then I read your other comment. Mitch did absolutely nothing in that fourth quarter. Yeah, look, I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know what's the deal with Mitch. I will say I appreciate that he works in the off season. He tries to get himself to a better level in his game. He has very lofty aspirations. He wants to be defensive player of the year or first team all defense. But he just doesn't show that level of play. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's all I can say. He just doesn't show that level of play consistently. He has really good games, but his really good games are against guys who don't have a true center, or people who play small teams that play small lineups. Like Mitch eats, but he eats at certain times. And then when it comes to playing like the big wigs in the league, the Embiids and all these guys, he kind of just gets quiet. He may, add his little thing. He's always going to get some offensive rebounds here and there, but his numbers are not as impactful. And if you want to be mentioned in the upper echelon of the league on the defensive side as a big man, you got to be consistent. You got to do it against everybody you play. So that's one of those things with Mitch that, unfortunately, it is what it is. Like he just hasn't shown that level, that next level of his game yet. Will it ever come? Maybe. I don't know if it'll be in a Knicks uniform, or I don't know if it'll be under Tom Thibodeau. Maybe there's another coach that will get the best out of Mitch, or another system that'll get the best out of Mitch. Because that's not foolproof either. There's a guy out there that is very talented, has similar abilities to Mitch. If you look at the numbers over his career and Mitch's numbers and their abilities, this guy can do the same type of stuff that Mitch does. And I've said it before, and people keep not understanding what I say by this. He has never shown, and being on a bad team himself, he has never shown that he is that guy. So that's why I always look at him sideways. And if you guys are wondering who I'm talking about, you guys are clamoring, and people around the league are talking about Bol, but they have forgotten about Mo Bamba, because Mo Bamba is forgetful. So I'm saying, I don't know. Almighty Finesse said outside of MSG is changing also. Yeah, everything is changing, man. Everything is changing. Yeah, see, Sherman, I don't know about that, bro, because I've seen Kuzma play good defense, and around the league, people talk about him as an adequate defender. I think when it comes to awful defense, you can say RJ has awful defense sometimes. When he gives the effort and he plays with his mind, the smarts, he's much better. Obi has awful defense. Like, I don't know if Kuzma has awful defense, but listen, you're all big about defense, Sherwin. So maybe you glue into stuff a little better than I do. I don't know. From what I've seen, he's been adequate. But, in comparison to what your standards are, what you're looking for in a player, maybe he's not it. I can respect that. Parrish Duggar, struggling to close out is normal in the NBA, folks, especially for a young team. I know, Parrish, but let me tell you something. These Knicks, as long as I've been a Knicks fan, the Knicks has always had problems closing out games. Do you guys remember prior to the season where we made fourth place, the knock on the Knicks was closing out games prior to that season? We didn't close out games. We just never did. We had problems closing out games. Even in the season where we made fourth place, we struggled in the third quarters. With the third quarters were notoriously bad for us. We won a lot more games than we've done recently, but they still had moments. And then obviously the next year we blew a bunch of games, the 20-point leads and stuff. So we've struggled. And then in that year, remember, young guys were playing, but not as many young guys as are playing now. So you can't even say they were a young team and having those issues, because last year they were having issues. We had more veterans on the team. We were still struggling closing out games. This team just has a problem closing out games under Tom Thibodeau, because that's the constant, right? Every year you can say, well, no matter what different players you have, but the coach is the same. So I'm just saying. And even prior to him being here, we had problems closing out games. So maybe it's a Nick thing. I don't know. Maybe whoever puts on the uniform, it's going to be an issue. I don't know. Nick Nation is in the building. Salute. What's good? Be in. What's good? Oh, he said RJ got cooked yesterday. But who cooked them? Who cooked them is the question. Who cooked them is the question. That is the thing that you want to look at. RJ Barrett is 6'6", right? Kyle Kuzma is 6'9". That's not an easy guard, guys. That's not an easy person for someone to go up with. You 6'6", and you're guarding a 6'9" guy who knows how to play offensively. That's not easy to deal with. Like, even you could play great defense on the guy and be right in his face. He can still shoot over you. Uh, Only way you can affect a guy like that is if they have a set shot and they don't jump when they shoot. They don't leap. Maybe you can impede their vision to the rim. But if the guy shoots jump shots, it's an issue. Kyle Kuzma is not slow. He's not fast, but he's got good speed. RJ Barrett's not fast. So as much as I want to say that RJ is not a great defender, we know that he's not even a good defender. He can be okay, but you got a mismatch in height and you got a mismatch in speed against a talented offensive player. The odds are stacked against RJ and that you know when you look at it like that, I don't know. Just I like I said, RJ can try to do as much as he can, and give that effort, and maybe get some stops here and there. But for the most part, that's going to be a losing battle. Knicks Nation said, "Do you think Grimes and IQ upside is greater than Cam?" Yeah, I do. I do. And you guys should already know why. It's not because of Cam's ability. Cam's got the better ability of the two. Easy. Like, you could put Grimes and IQ together, and Cam could be better than both of them. That's how much talent the guy's got, but you'll never see it consistently. So, and because of his way, how he plays out there, and how he just is never like consistently aggressive and consistently impactful. Yeah, I think Grimes and IQ will have a much better upside than him. Because as IQ is getting better defensively and he's getting smarter offensively, even though he's not quite where I want him to be as a shooter, his hesitancy kills me and drives me nuts. I think if he gets with the right situation, it may not even be with the Knicks. I keep saying that because it's true, man. Some of these guys, they get their first cup of coffee in the league and they kind of learn some things about their game. But then when they get to their next destination, they turn into something different. Or if they're around a new coach, they turn into something different. That's why the NBA is good, because you do move around, or you do get different coaches who teach you different things along the way. And that's what makes you a better player. And then Grimes, I just think just give Grimes time. Grimes is good, man. You give Grimes more time, he keeps learning. He's gonna be very adequate. I like how on the other day on the NBA report, I was chopping it up with Eru from Die Hard Knicks, and he said he looks at Grimes kind of like a Wesley Matthews back in Wesley's prime. Wesley Matthews was a very, very good NBA player during those times. He didn't have earth-shattering numbers, but it seemed like he was getting busy. I tell you, on the defensive end, on the offensive end, he could get hot and light it up. He was a very good complementary piece to whatever team he was on. And I see Grimes as that too. Lion of Judah said, "It's not that Mitch doesn't play well. Look at how many bad calls on him, and he can't get in the flow when he gets fake calls on." That can hurt him, but like I said, the thing about Mitch is he gets it's not what do they call that? He gets small. For a big guy, you're never supposed to play small or look like you're getting small, versus the rest of the bigs in the league. And sometimes when he goes up against these good bigs, uh, he gets small, or bigs that are very similar to him. When he was younger and he had even more athleticism and speed, he was a problem for some of these guys. Like, his matchups versus like Jaren Jackson Jr. were epic, because they would keep going back at each other. And Mitch was so quick off his feet. You know, Mitch was going out guarding 3-point line dudes. He was like, he was everywhere. That's not the same Mitch. Mitch is a little slower, but also, you know, that's just not how he plays. It doesn't work for him. And he'll get beat if he tries to do the same thing. He was younger then. This is 4 years ago. Um, yeah, this Mitch has to settle into you know, the way it's best suited for him to play the game. We still don't know what that is for Mitch. I mean, and it's just not just Mitch. This is how it is to be an NBA player. Depending on how your team is set up, depending on how they run their offense and their defense, you have to find your role and fit in. And hopefully, your coach uses you in the best possible way. And if you're not being used in the best possible way, your overall talent can shine through. But for Mitch, it's been a little bit more, subdued because you don't know exactly what Mitch you're getting. Mitch can go out there and give you a double double easily, or he can go out there and give you, 4 or 5 offensive rebounds, finish with 9 or 8 rebounds total, and then maybe give you 6 to 10 points in a game and no blocks, which frustrates me. As Mitch can be such a deterrent in the paint, but he don't block shots anymore. What happened to Mitch's being able to block shots? You guys remember that when Mitch was a demon out there blocking shots, 4 or 5? You know, I don't know what happened to that. Almighty Finesse says, I'm taking Mo Bamba over Mitch. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Mo Bamba lets me down, B. Mo Bamba looks like he could be all this stuff. The whole year they've been talking about Wembanyama, right? And then people saw Bol and like, oh man, we got Wembanyama Jr. over here, or Bol is just as good. Why are you not hearing about Mo Bamba? Now everything's Bol. Mo Bamba's still on the team. I don't get it. I hear you though. I just don't know what's the deal. Bricks Nation said Mitch, Obi, Cam. Let me drop this down for a second as I just kind of look at this. Mitch, Obi, Cam on first, and 3 second rounders. Or maybe you mean 1 and 1. Are you trying to say 1 protected, 1 unprotected? And 3 set? No, that's a lot. I think you just mean 1. Mitch, Obi, Cam, first, 3 second rounders from Miles Turner. Yeah, I'd probably get it done, but I don't know if that would be all that they would want to do in that trade. Because I think that remember, if you bring in Mitch, Obi, and Cam, that's 3 players, and you're letting go of 1. So that's 2 players on Indiana that they have to cut or find a way to get rid of. So they'd probably want to throw those guys in the trade too. And honestly, I don't even know, even if they were willing to trade Miles Turner, they'd probably want the Knicks to take Buddy Hield and his contract, because I think that they're trying to, change their contract situation. They know they got some talent over there, some of these players. So I think they're trying to get off of some of these guys. And I don't know if they're sold on Duarte. But it's not a bad offer though. It's not a bad offer at all. Sherwin says Kuzma can only defend a 4. I mean, I hear you though, but what can RJ only defend? Because I don't know, and that's my guy. I don't know. Almighty Finesse said we got to trade for OG Anunoby. Well, maybe if the asking price was something that was decent, then I would say jump all over that and make it happen. But I don't know, man. we'll see what happens because we're getting close to this trading time, and we'll see what things look like. It could be quiet out here in these streets. And there may not be much movement. Shout out to Parish Duggar. Thank you for the generous super chat, my brother. Appreciate you. He said, "Man, do we need to start enjoy this team grow upward?" Yeah, I mean, I hear you, bro. Like, I don't want to always say negative things about the Knicks. I'm happy with what they're doing out there. It's just that these are just things you want to think about, and they need to really look into, because if they're trying to win uh games down the stretch and get into the playoff run, you got to clean this stuff up. These closing out of games, you can't have 20-point leads and lose the game, or be in jeopardy of losing the game in the fourth quarter. You can't have 8 or 9 point leads with a couple minutes left in the game and then be in jeopardy of losing the game. It's like you got to figure out a way to play smarter basketball. And look, sometimes you got to do things in spite of the coach. I'm not saying it's Thibodeau's fault, but usually in cases like that, if your personnel is not doing what you got to do, you got to make the proper adjustments. And Tibbs knows that his personnel struggles down the stretch of these games. Then he has to figure out, they got to come together and get a plan of how we're going to attack this stuff to stop it from happening all the time. And sometimes as a player, you got to say, well, damn, coach doesn't draw anything up for us to change. She's not making any substitutions. I got to figure out something to stop us from losing the lead. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the NBA. That's what happens. Whether it means that, we're up 15 or something, and it's like 5 minutes left in the game, and this team is starting to run and gun, and they're shooting threes, and they're starting to hit. Hold the ball. If your plan and strategy all game was to shoot quick, like within 7 to 10 seconds, 5 minutes left in the game, the other team is trying to claw back and trying to get this victory and get back in the game, and start holding the ball instead of shooting with 7 to 10 seconds. Now hold the ball for 20 seconds. I mean, not 20, but like 15 seconds, and then shoot somewhere in between 15 and 20. Like, take more time off the clock. Do things like that. I don't know. I'm just thinking as a player on the court, if the coach ain't telling me nothing, if he's not making any adjustments, what could I do? And that's the only thing I could think of, outside of making smart shots and not settling for bad shots and moving the basketball around, trusting your teammates. But whatever, Yeah, A-Train says, I Heart stats yesterday looked good on paper, but the eye test, though. Yeah, man. Problem is, the other thing, I said it before, iHeart, they're not using him the best. The way the Knicks play defense doesn't suit iHeart the best. And iHeart is really an adequate backup center. But this Knicks team, because we have a starting center who's challenged offensively and doesn't really give them that much unless you feed him the ball or set him up, you have to have more. iHeart looks like more important part of the team. Like, you need more from him because we're not getting it from Mitch. I'm not talking about him getting cooked on defense, because we know he does get cooked on defense. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. iHeart looked like a fit. He may not be the right fit. Yeah, Lions Judah said, Ron, yeah, they're losing leads, but they don't give up. Look at their record now. It's growing pains right now, but we that are really true Knicks fans, you stay the course or find another team. Well, that's a fact. Yeah, I think they're 24-19 now. So yeah, they're definitely, just keep at it, and in this league, now's the time to make a move anyway. You got some teams that are still floundering. They're not healthy. The Nets, may struggle a little bit. Maybe they won't. But if you can take advantage of the fact that KD is out, No shout out to him being hurt or anything, but as a team, like you gotta make your way. You know, if this is your time to shine, do it. So the Knicks got some chances. Go get it. I see you, Jay Boogie. I'll put that link up, my brother. Let's see. What else? E. Gibson said, we need another scoring option off the bench. We struggle getting points when the starters are out. It's been evident these last several games. That's a fact. But that's tough for a lot of teams now. Have you noticed? A lot of teams around the NBA, their bench scoring has not been great. Get my guy in here. Jay Boogie.
What's going on, my guy, man? Blessful on this Saturday, man. Shout out to the chat. What's happening with you, man? How you doing, man? What's good? What you talking about? I see you got that big cup. You got the biggest cup on podcast.
You see what it says? I drink coffee for your protection.
Yeah. What's going on with you, man?
Yeah. Chilling, brother. Chilling. Yeah, hanging in there. Let me see here. Just talking about these Knicks and this game, and how, you know, the Knicks like to make it interesting once again, as always.
Right. That's what we do, man.
What do you think about how they played?
Well, pretty much, I wasn't really like, I caught a little bit of the game towards the end of the game. I was trying to take care of business in the studio last night. But just looking at the numbers and the stats, you know, I'm just going off that. I just wanted to share with the people and let them know that, yo, for real, we got a major all-star player on our squad, yo. And his name is Jalen Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
That's his name. You know, I said, the left-hander get you tooken, the fake number 11 over there in Brooklyn. Man, we got us one, dude. I'm telling you, all that, yo, he too small. Yo, we gave him too much money and all that. Where's all that now? Where's those words at now? If you're not watching and appreciating this guy, what he's doing, man, then you don't deserve a point guard. You don't just, you know, you just don't, yeah, excuse me, I'm at work a little bit. You just don't, this guy took on New York City, said, I want to be here, and he's ready to face the music. He came here on his own. You don't just tell Dallas, you don't just leave probably one of the top, he's definitely one of the top 4 basketball players in the league in Luka. You just don't leave him with a chance to maybe have a chance to go play for a championship this year. Say, yo, I don't even want to be a part of that no more. I want to go do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? And then can't come here and show up and handle his business and silence the critics and everything. The dude is, you know, he's a good ball player. He got heart. He's poised. He's clutch. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got no problem with sticking his nose on defense. That's what I like. You know what I'm saying? He's not a great on the ball defensive player, but he will sacrifice his body, take charges, all types of things. He has what you call a winner's mentality. And you gotta love and appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? And to want to come here and play for the city and have his own squad, man, I love and appreciate. Just want to say personally, yo, thank you, Jalen Brunson, for choosing to come play for the New York Knicks, you know what I'm saying, and giving us, all us fans, you know, a point guard, which we've been needing for years and years, and now we got one now, you know what I'm saying, and he's no slouch, you know, and he crushing people right now. You know, he get his own buckets, mid-range, long distance, however he's back. I'm glad to see back to knocking down his free throws, you know what I'm saying, because that slacked off a little bit. But, man, we got us an all-star right there for many years to come, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, all the people that wanted Murray over him, I just want to know, the same guys, do you still choose Murray over him now? You know, I just want to know. I mean, because this guy, he don't answer everything that need to be answered, man. And he's helping Julius a whole lot. He's helping RJ. He's helping the whole organization, the whole franchise, and everything, man. Jalen Brunson, man. Shout out to Brunson, JB, man. Thank you, my brother. I just wanted to say that. Thank you for doing what you're doing, and you know, and it's just great to have a point guard, man. Great to have one, man. You can't win nothing without no point guard or general, man, on that floor. You can't do it.
That's a fact. It's a fact. He's been really good, man. And you know, hopefully that everybody around the league continues to give him his props, man, especially Knicks fans, because he's definitely been the dude for us, man. Appreciate him. And he's on one right now. He is definitely on one right now. And you know, I'm okay with him here and not having DeJounte Murray. As much as I know how talented DeJounte is, I just think that Jalen might be the better fit, because you know, sometimes Jalen hits big threes for this team, and you know, he's not really known for being a 3-point shooter, but neither is DeJounte. But he's been very good, shooting like 38% from three.
I think the city would have been too big for Murray. But one thing I can say, you know, New York can swallow a basketball player. You swallow you up. If you're not built for it, you can get swallowed up. It's too much going on, too much media. You know, it's just, you know, the city life. And Brunson doesn't allow that to happen to him. He stays, you know what I'm saying, within, you know what I'm saying, his realm of life. And that's great. You know, the city is not too big for him. The lights are not too bright for him. You know, you get caught up, got a few dollars and hanging out and partying and all. You don't see him all. You like, nah. You see me in the building. Yo, see me in the building.
You're right.
You know what he gonna do to Detroit? I need player of the week this week. You jerked us with Julius. I need that this week. I need that. It ain't numbers he putting up. And if he don't get player of the week this week, I'm calling the commission. I need to holler at you. Something's wrong. Y'all scared.
Hey man, listen. He definitely can do it. He definitely can do it, because he is like locked in. Like, and this is the type of now, don't get me wrong. We know at some point he's gonna have a bad game, you know, because the way he's been shooting has just been like, man, his consistency right now has been nice. It's what? So yeah, but you know, hopefully he can keep it going and keep that rhythm going. I know he was very disappointed in himself during that stretch where he was having issues missing free throws and stuff. Like, that's not typical Jalen. So I think this is really good to see, and I'm happy for him, and I'm really happy as a Knicks fan that we got him. So I'm with you 100%, J Boog.
Right.
I had this up here. Let me bring this back. So this is the box score for the night, guys, and as you can see, you know, we didn't have a ton of equal scoring throughout, but we had 4 guys in double figures. RJ had 17, 5 and 1. He shot 53% from the field and 33 from 3, 50% from the free throw line. And this goes back to a point that was made in the chat. If you look at just the free throw shooting, 50%, 62%. Jalen shot 100% on 7 of 7. Very nice. Grimes shot 100% on 3 of 3. But then you got Hartenstein. Well, no, that's only 2. Yeah, forget that, because there's not a lot of shots. You just missed 1 shot. So 66% for Hartenstein and 75% from Quickly. So I think the number's probably actually 71%. Yeah, so I mean, I guess when you look at it like this, the culprit is Julius, but he missed 3 free throws. But when you look at how many free throws they took, as you know, the number looks skewed. If they had taken like another 5, that number that 71 bounces up. So don't go too crazy with that. the free throw shooting wasn't that bad. So RJ had 17. Like I said, Julius had 23 and 16 rebounds, 42% from the field. He shot 33% from three. And then you had Jalen, who was 34, 8 rebounds and 8 assists. What? Oh man, this is the type of stuff that it's not downplaying or shortchanging other guys and what they do, but you got Jalen Brunson, the 6'1" guy on the court. He's got 8 rebounds, and then you're Mitchell Robinson, and you got 10 rebounds. I don't know, man. I just that's the reason why you can't take your game to the next level. For Mitch, when he's trying to be on these top lists, that's the reason why, in a game like this, I get it. Julius was scraping up everything. I mean, 16 rebounds, very nice. But Mitch got to stake his claim, man. He needs to have some really big numbers to be able to show, at the end of the year, my numbers stack up with these other guys on these lists. If that's what you want. So, and then let's see. I'm just briefly going through it, and then that's in 40 minutes. Brunson was 12 of 24, 50%, 50% from 3 of 6, and perfect from the free throw line. Yeah, you can't. This is a really good game from Jalen Brunson. You can't ask for more. And then Hartenstein had 8 and 7. Emmanuel quickly had 18, 4 and 2. He shot 53% from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, and then 3 of 4 from the free throw line. And that's pretty much your game. And guys, have you noticed, once again, now that we're healthy, look at Miles McBride, only played 7 minutes, not really contributing much. Obi played 12 minutes, not contributing much. So this is this Knick team. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There you go. The 9-man rotation. It's back.
Take the 9 off the bag just for the rotation.
Yes, sir. Let me see what these game stats look like. Okay, so the Knicks had 54 rebounds to Wizards 50. All right, we got the rebounding. That's a key. That's one thing that has to be a constant with these Knicks. Continue to kill them on the boards, or not kill them, at least get the advantage. 54 to 50, assist 18 to 15. That's kind of funky. I mean, the Knicks had 15 assists, and Jalen Brunson had 8 of them. We got to move the ball, man. We got to move the ball.
Yeah.
They both had 3 steals. Yeah, right. Exactly. They both had 3 steals. Knicks had 6 blocks to their 4, 7 turnovers to 7. Now that's a good sign. I mean, even though the assist total was kind of low, only 7 turnovers for a game in the Knicks. That's good. That's a good sign. We shot 44% from the field to their 38. We shot 27% from 3 to their 31, which you'd like that to be higher. That was bad. And then we shot 71% to their 88% from the free throw line. Knicks were fortunate to escape. And it's because they had built up a nice, little bit of a lead in that fourth quarter. And so they were able to fight them off, but it could have went the other way. The points in the paint disparity was huge, 52 to 28. Wow. Second chance points, 11 to 12. And then fast break points, 19 to 9 for the Knicks. Yeah, so that's the tale of the tape, folks. That's what it was looking like. I think that this little stretch of games that we got, I feel like we could win a good amount of them. Let me see what the schedule is looking like now. I had it up before. Because I know I had looked at it before, and I said, you know what? These are winnable games. It's not gimmies, but next game is against Detroit. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But then you got Toronto, which, you don't know what Toronto you're going to get, but we should be able to win against Toronto once again. We got to play the Wizards again. That one may be a little tougher because the Wizards fought back and could see that they can hang, and if the Knicks don't step up and play the same way, it could be tricky, but we can beat the Wizards. Then you got Atlanta. Then you got Toronto again. Man, damn, they really bunched these games up, huh?
Yeah.
And then Atlanta. Oh, wait, I said Atlanta. Then Toronto, then Cleveland, Boston, Brooklyn. Ooh, okay. That's going to get a little funky later. But all right. But the point is Detroit, Toronto, the Wizards, the Hawks, and then Toronto again. So I think we could win the next 4 games. Playing Toronto twice in the next 5 games, I don't know if we're going to take both, but so that still puts us in good shape. We could get out of here, 4-1 in the next 5, or at least at no worse than 3-2. And if you already have a record of 24-19, the Knicks will be in good shape.
I need my foot down on the neck of all them teams right there. Separate ourselves. When you get out of that basement, you stay out of the basement. When you get in the middle of the pack, you got to knock the ones in the middle of the pack off if you want to see or have anything to do with the guys that's above us. And you know the names that's above us. Only thing I look at is Boston, Boston, Philly, Brooklyn, but now their situation in Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't even looking at Miami. You know what I'm saying? Because last year we showed ourselves last year that we was ready for them, and we didn't even have a general. So I think right now we in our position where we're going to be, and if anything, we might nudge up to maybe 5 this year. But we're in our right position where we should be at, and I'm happy to see the squad doing what they're doing. My battery get ready to jump off, and I know I need to make a phone call, but I wanted to come rock with you, for a few minutes, man. It's only love I got. Hope blessings, towards you and your family. Hope everybody, situation, is being, coming back into the greatest form of health. And shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Everybody have a great weekend, You deserve it, treat yourself. Don't beat yourself. Or, you owe it to yourself. Go ahead and enjoy your life, your loved ones and everything. And shout out to the Giants, man. Let's go ahead and do what we got to do to the Vikes tomorrow. And I'm going to see y'all, sometime later on the night or maybe tomorrow. I know I'll be at that MLK game Monday. I'll be at the Atlanta Hawks game next Friday. Then I'll be at the Clippers game back in New York, and I'll be at the Philly game. That's back-to-back, you know what I'm saying? So maybe I can, rock with some of y'all out here in the garden or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But y'all can have a great weekend. Ron, my guy, man, we still Knicks fans. And it ain't because of what's playing on in the garden. It's because you got us on the podcast, my brother.
All right. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me just throw this guy in here just so you see him. Boom. Look at that.
Boom. Sip the juice. I got enough to go around.
Jay Boogie, get out of here, man.
I grew up in the I learned T-Stalk, and then talk to Hawk, New York. I go from Queens to Queens to get the crew from Brooklyn with money in my hand and never been took it. Go uptown to the Bronx and boogie down, man. I'm on the podcast around.
Boogie down. My man. Hip hop.
No doubt, man. I'm glad you came in, man, because none of us need to be up here by ourselves, even though the chats is that thick, man. So, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get subbed by a great man. Freezy, what's good with you, man? Blessings to you, but I gotta jump off, man.
Hey, I love you, brother. Thank you for being a great person, bro. Thank you for being 100% natural man, great person, bro. I appreciate you. I love you, bro.
Man, love you all, man. Brothers for podcast life. I mean, outside of podcasts and everything, man. Y'all have a great weekend.
Oh, Jay, don't send me that again. I didn't get it. I checked my Instagram. I checked my email. I didn't get the giant joint. So send it to me again.
I do that right now.
All right. Hey, what's happening, Uncle Freezy?
Hey, we not starting no trouble. We just having some fun. He's got the rock from KRS-One.
What's happening, brother?
Ain't nothing, man. I was just doing some pre-production stuff, man, and I saw it. I'm like, yeah, I might come in and hang out, man, for a few minutes. I hadn't seen you in so long, man. I genuinely care about a whole bunch of y'all dudes, and not for no other reason but the humanity aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Real love for the sake of love being real.
Yo, man, you don't sleep, brother. You don't sleep. I seen you on last night. It was like 2 a.m, and I was doing the thumbnail for the show, and like, what am I going to talk about tomorrow? And then I was like, let me see what's going on YouTube. I wasn't expecting to see anybody on. Then and like, damn, what the hell are you doing, Free?
Right. And now I can't sleep. I toss and turn candlesticks in the dark.
Oh, look at you!
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I see you.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, man.
So man, yeah, man, what's going on? How you feel about these Knicks right now, man? The Jekyll and Hyde Knicks.
I think if you're a content creator right now, bro, they have your plate so full with stuff to talk about. Like if you like with me, I like to parse participles. So when I see something, I like to break it down to the very last compound. You know what I'm saying? Like talk about these things. The one thing I noticed, man, if you're a Knicks content creator, bro, they give you so much fodder. They give you so much stuff. You could legit be on like 24 hours a day, man.
It is true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Last night, not talking about that stuff, but last night a lot of Knicks fans were talking to me about Tibbs still not wanting to play more than 9 players. Right?
Yeah.
And what I gather from that, and salute to your chat, bro. So salute to your chat. Y'all doing big thing. I see y'all hit 2K. What? Congratulations, man.
A little something, man. A little something. Appreciate you.
A little something, just a little love.
Yeah,
just
a
little
bit. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Man, congratulations for y'all, man. Y'all grown so fast. Bro, man, y'all keep doing what y'all think. But I didn't really jump up for the Love Fest part, but even though it always turns into Love Fest. But
we appreciate you no matter what, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I think what Knicks fans don't understand, bro, is that Tom Thibodeau just flat out are not gonna play certain people. And it don't matter what their previous skill set was and other stops or what they looked like before such and such and such. Tibbs wants you to contribute a certain thing. And if you get in the way of what he wants this team to do, he gonna sit you. Period. You know what I'm saying? So the 9-man rotation thing is a thing. I think that's more of a Tibbs and the team coming together about guys not being able to get into a flow because there's so many dudes playing. By the time you get ready to get into a rhythm, he's snatching you out because somebody else want to play. Other thing about that though is if you don't do, because his concession was, if you don't do it, I'll concede that, like what y'all said. I'll concede that part. But if I put you out here, you better have the team thing first. Ain't no, I'm trying to make the all-star. I'm trying to become a star. Ain't none of that. It's about this team winning games. And if I feel like if I get the vibe that you going in that other way, he not feeling you. Sorry.
I agree with that. That's what. Listen, like I said before, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm always gonna feel this way. I feel this way now. Like it wasn't there before, but now I feel like Tibbs. Shout out to him. He's done a great job of what he's got out there, and I like once they decided to switch to a 9-man rotation and go defensive. I think it was the right move. Obviously, we could see the results are there.
Yep.
So I appreciate him for that. Do I feel like he's the long-term option? No, but I'm rocking with him now while we got him. And if we continue to build a certain way, there's a way to win with Tibbs and there's a way to win without Tibbs. It's just you have to figure out what you're trying to do. For Tibbs, I think the way to win, you see what he can do with this team that he's got. You know what's missing, then add the pieces to it and let's go from there. If not, if we're handicapped next offseason and we can't do anything and it's all about what's next for the Knicks, but we're not really in a way to improve, the window is not huge. Like Julius is X amount of age. Tibbs' contract, he's a 5-year contract. Next year is year 4. You got to figure something out here or else you move on. That's my whole thing. I'm just tired of not knowing exactly what.
Tibbs to be 65 on Tuesday.
Sheesh. Wow. Yeah. Yes. That's
are you really trying to go deep into this thing with a 66, 67-year-old coach?
Man. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And I'm not doing an age. I'm not doing an ageism, right? Because if you got the energy to do it, Okay. Right. But having the energy to do it and then having to do it nouveau, because you have to do it nouveau. You can't do it noir. Right. You can't do it. The NBA is it evolves too quickly for you to do it noir. Right. You have to do it nouveau. Right. And if you and if Tibbs has the energy to do it nouveau, then okay. But does it look like Tibbs has that patience and energy to be cutting edge experimentation? I'm here to say I don't even see that in Popovich no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't even see it in Pop no more.
You're not wrong in that. You're not wrong in that.
Do you see it in Dwayne Casey anymore? Like that experimentation? I'm willing to do certain things. This is the way the league is going. Tibbs went back to an old school early 2000s defense that what started the win streak. He went back to that peel off defense where if you get smashed on the screen, don't fight over the screen, just find the closest offensive player to you and stick with that person. And I know it looks like we're switching. It's not really switching. What it is just staying aggressive defensively. No open man on the floor. Everybody's got to have a man on them, even if it looks like a mismatch. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So I understand where you're going with it. With the thing
let me ask you something, Freezy. Okay. Because this has been
I'm not answering any Monifa questions. If you got anything about Monifa, no.
No, I'm gonna stay away from that. That's not even I shouldn't even. And you know what? In fairness to Monifa, I may listen to that joint that she got. It's been too long. You know, that's a joint. But no.
We do the pepper seed to it.
Don't be putting Monifa in the freaking Faith Evans and all these that. Don't do that to Monifa. That's not right. You know,
okay.
Come on, man. You know what I mean? Don't do that.
Don't do that, hoodie cap.
What my question to you is, and this is everybody in the chat, y'all welcome to join in with your opinion about it. Why won't we see, and this is the type of adjustment that I'm looking for in the Tibbs coach team in this day and age, knowing his defense. Why won't we see in the fourth quarter of games, especially closing out games in the last 6 minutes or so, the Knicks say, let's run people off of that 3-point line, filter them into our center, who is a good defender who blocks shots in the paint, and see where we go from there. You got guys who are known for being 3-point shooters, but haven't been known for doing anything. They're not driving to the hoop, getting layups, shooting mid-range jumpers. Take them off the 3-point line and funnel them into your big. That's what he's there for. I can understand if iHeart's in the game. Okay, you don't want to do that. Maybe you do it with Sims, but I get that. But when Mitch is in the game down the stretch, and you know the team is being aggressive trying to get back in it, run them off the 3-point line and send them into the paint. Right. My question, I don't know why they don't do that. What do you think about that?
That is a awesome perspective. I'm not for sure. Because there when you say that, I have so many things going through my mind at the same time. Like, what's the personnel on the floor with Mitch? Like, do you have, because if you have great to good perimeter defenders on the floor, do you still want to use that strategy? Or do you want to trust Emmanuel Quickley, who's one of the best defensive guards in the NBA at the moment? Like right now at the moment, Emmanuel Quickley has the 4th best defensive rating in the NBA, right? And defensively, right? That's a fact. That's not something we make up or the cute little. Remember how we used to find the cute little Frank stats? Well, when the Knicks wear orange uniforms, Frank scores this. No, it's not one of those cute little stats. This is a real fact here that Quickley, and I know Grimes has the reputation, but Quickley is one of the best defensive guards in the NBA based on defensive rating. Now, defensive rating depends on a lot of different things, but just based off of what you're saying, is Quickley in the game? So do I have a situation where it's maybe Mitch, Randall, Grimes, IQ, RJ in the game? Is it one of those? Because if it's that, then I'll take my chances. If it's a scenario where regardless who I have on the floor, they're still knocking down 3-point shots. Then, like the Milwaukee game where Drew Holiday hit those 2 daggers over Quentin Grimes. Then so I think I might acquiesce to that. I think I might slide to that side. Like my only thing though is how often does Mitch make it to that point with like 2 fouls or less?
Right. I mean, yeah, that's you know what, and that's why I asked you that question, Freezy, and I appreciate your take on it because I know you're thinking about all of the different scenarios and parables that are happening at the time, which makes sense. You got to focus on everything that's going on. It's got to be personnel out there. What is the foul situation? All these things.
Is it 1 3-point shooter that's deadly?
Right.
Is
who's
it
the
2
team
3-point shooters?
Yeah. And that all matters. Like if you're going up against Detroit. And Detroit is trying to shoot daggers to get back in the game. Maybe you're not worrying about it.
Yeah,
but if you're dealing with a team like Milwaukee, for example, where you got Connington and you got Drew Holiday and you got
Grayson Allen and Brook Lopez.
Yeah, you gotta. I think you gotta worry about that. Take Brook off the damn 3-point line and get his ass in the paint. Pause.
Right. Pause.
Pause. Yeah. But anyway,
pause.
Let me get my guy in here. I haven't seen him in a minute, but I think he saw Freezy face. He said, "Uh-oh, let me show the fan who I am." Hey, Danny Landis.
Danny Landis is in the building.
I don't got the music for you, Danny, but you know.
I saw these two. Yo, I gotta jump on with these dudes.
Yeah, man.
I see you out there in the streets, man. We're good. We're good. You a little choppy, but I can hear you.
You belong to the city.
Yeah, man.
We was just talking about Tom Thibodeau and I posed the question about him making an adjustment when things are getting a little hairy in the fourth quarter and taking guys off the 3-point line. What do you think about that? Maybe trying something a little but to Freezy's point, you gotta take into account everything that's happening at that time, which makes a lot of sense. If it don't look right, you can't do it. Okay, if Mitch is in foul trouble, can't do it. If the team you're playing doesn't have a lot of 3-point shooters, they just decided to jack it up, because they know the Knicks play off. You gotta, sometimes you gotta let it happen because that's the Knicks defensive style. Like, they want you to take them long threes because the probability of making that compared to a short 2 is higher, less, should I say. What do you think about that, Danny?
I think that he's tweaking it. It's a little bit better. He's got to make changes. There wasn't before. He's doing okay. He's improving. Even I don't like him too much. He's improving to me. What do you think, Freezy?
I didn't hear you. It sounded like you were breaking up to me, boss.
He's definitely you got a little of that Max Headroom out there. It might be just the connection, the area where you at. Max.
Yeah, but to the thing about Tibbs though, he has been switching up a lot of the defensive stuff, especially since that Dallas Mavericks blowout game where they blew us out on a Saturday a few Saturdays ago. So there's been a lot of changes defensively, a lot of rotation stuff, a lot of who picks up the ball who stops the ball in transition based on personnel groupings, a lot of Jalen Brunson on the baseline defense as opposed to being at the top of the key defending. That way he can rotate into that spot where he can draw charges and things of that sort, as opposed to, trying to keep a guy in front of him, the Kyle Lowry type defender, so to speak. So Tibbs has been making a lot of changes. Now has he been perfect? No. I mean, he's not been perfect.
And like I said, I've said it before. When I say something about Tibbs, or even when I was saying what I was saying about Julius Randle, it's specific to a certain thing. Like Julius Randle, do I think he's the best trade piece the Knicks got? Yes. If a deal comes along that looks incredible, do you got to jump on it? Yes, you do. But that doesn't mean I want to trade Julius Randle. Julius Randle's been playing well. The Knicks have been winning with him here. But like if today, if tomorrow, or OKC came to the Knicks and said, "Listen, we'll give you Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. We want Julius Randle." I got to do it.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm not saying you don't just trade him for any. I'm not trading Julius Randle to Indiana for Buddy Hield and, you know, just to get him off. That don't make no sense.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. And yeah, it don't make no sense. And just like with Tibbs, you got to give Tibbs credit for turning things around. But long term, I don't know. Let me just say what's up to the chat real quick, because I see there's a couple, might be a little Don Dada super chats in there. So let me shout them out. Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous super chat. Appreciate you. He said Donovan was raving on Twitter about JB and he's coming. Yeah, but remember, I played a short sound clip in the offseason about Donovan saying that you know, they know JB is he's one of them dudes. He's one of them guys. He got that type of thing in his game. So he's not something to be slept on. He's JB is a player. So shout out to Donovan for continuing to big him up. And Donovan's a good dude, man. Just it's a shame he's not wearing a Knicks uniform. Whatever. It's all right. It is what it is. And also thank you to Paris Duggar for the other generous super chat. He said Coach Rope-a-Dope gonna get us knocked out by Ali. Hey man, you know, listen. Hopefully, yeah, you know what I mean. Taking it back. Hopefully, we continue to play the same style of basketball, and maybe at the trade deadline we could find a nice little marginal piece, a little small forward who's a 3-and-D, and throw him in there. We don't need much right now. I would say the Knicks need to be a little conservative, unless you're going all in. But be a little conservative, because don't mess things up. Because I don't think a big trade is going to happen. Do you think a big trade is going to happen, Freezy? I don't see it. I don't trust Leon Rose, B. I think he's scared money don't make money, B.
All right, so what do you think is, so how do you quantify the word big in that question?
Well, I think,
like, are you talking about like maybe trading for a starter or trading for a star, or are you saying trading a lot of players for a lot of players?
Big in the fact of production. When we was doing the NBA report on Thursday, I was with Eru, and Eru had brought up, we were talking about the scoring in the league, and Eru had brought up, he counted, there's 39 20-point scorers in the league right now.
Right.
So anybody who's a 20-point or more scorer, to me, is big. I would say it like that, because they add a lot of offensive value to the team. And if there's anything plus on the defensive side, great. But that's what I mean by big.
Okay. So you're like maybe star level?
What do you think about Tobias, Freezy?
I'm sorry?
What? I'm sorry, you were breaking up. Were you trying to say Tobias Harris, Danny?
Nah, I don't.
Yes.
I don't know if
no,
I could, because I don't know if what you give up is gonna be worth what you get back in return. I like Tobias Harris, but if you have to give up like some major piece for him, because right now he's like the fourth best player on his team, and if he comes here, is he gonna be better than the fourth best player on this team? And if not, then, you know, why give up the assets to get him? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm questioning the thing. I'm not saying he's not a good player. I'm questioning, you know what I'm saying, the maneuver. Like, why would we do it if that's the case?
Is Tobias a star? Is he a starter for Philly, or does he come off the bench? He's a starter for Philly.
Yes.
Yeah. If Tobias can be our backup, because I would love Tobias as a bench scorer, but not at that price tag. Tobias makes a lot of money coming off the bench.
and it's not like we don't have a lot of money on the bench anyway, but that's one of the situations we don't like. So do you trade the situation you don't like for a situation that you still don't like? You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You want to get better. You don't want to do the same old thing.
Yeah. It's just food for thought. That's all.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, like Tobias
Well,
is
you're
one of
right,
those
though.
nice. If Tobias was one of those where Philadelphia said, let's cut bait, we'll use our exception on him, and then the Knicks can sign him as a veteran minimum. Yes, sir. Bring
Excellent.
Tobias up in here.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
take that. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Shout out to Dunris Gallman. Appreciate you, my man. I think this might be your first time in the chat. Welcome to the Still Knick Fans family. Appreciate you, my brother. He said the problem is Tibbs is not using his centers the right way. This is when I was talking about the bigs and how they get used with iHeart and all that. Thank you, man. Appreciate you adding that. And I agree that it's just the type of defense that Tibbs runs is not necessarily beneficial to a guy like iHeart. I think iHeart's system in with the Clippers, he fared better over there. But it is what it is, man. He's got to fit in. He's a part of this team now. So yeah. Shout out to Bricks Nation. Appreciate you. Knicks Nation 112, where the players dwell. I see you. Thank you for being here. Jermaine Sims is in the building. Long Island Sound is here. Quick love. Yankees fan forever. Sorry for that, but I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Let me see. Cully's in the building. What's good? Cully Goat. I see you.
Goat is in the building.
Dope Soul Sports Talk. What's going on, Steph? Are you still? I'm sure you probably still traveling from DC. They MBK fam went to the game last night. They gave some of that good mojo.
Okay. I see y'all. Shout out to the Queen. Yeah.
Staffordon, I see you once again, my brother. D-Ras is in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. Trav B is in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. Brooklyn Butch is here. Jiggerman Porto is here. Shout out to Jiggerman Porto and the Knicks Morning Brew, Heck, and also Phil Porto on the Degen Sports Network. Check them out if you haven't already. Like, comment, subscribe. Salute to them. William is all the way here from Brazil. What's going on? William, bo. And there's a couple more. Yes, bro. This is Brazil. Andrew Gutierrez is here. Thank you, brother. I think I got Pat Jiggy's in the building. Pat Jiggy, this might be your first time here too. Welcome to the Still Knick Fans family. Thank you. Worldwide L, I see you. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you. Guys, check out Worldwide L Hard Will on the for the love of the game. If you haven't, that's once again for the love of the game. The number 4 OUR, love of the game. Check them out, man, on YouTube. Great show. Agent Super Argo's in the building. Appreciate you. Will Salkin is here. Okay, I think I paid the dues. Shout out to everybody. If I missed you, it's not for lack of trying. I try to show my love when I can. As we continue to grow, I told you before, once we get to 30,000, 40,000, I ain't going to be able to holler at all y'all. But one day. El Servy's in the building too. So El Servy said, appreciate you, bro. He said, can we trade a pick back to the original team? I don't know how you would do that. How would you do that? Can we trade a pick back to the original team? Yeah, I don't know. You have to give me a little bit more context of what you're trying to say.
Yeah, you need some. Yeah,
because I'm not sure how we would wind up doing that. That's interesting. Shout out to Parrish Duggar once again. Thank you for the generous super chat. He said, "Dear Coach, I know you don't think I'm a high minute guy, which is cool, but understand that I can't play well as a low minute guy. Love Obi and Cam."
Right.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, being that I got you guys here, Obi, bro. Oh, I was a big Obi fan. I love the kid for who he is and what he can possibly bring to the team. I don't know if I'm seeing what I want to see from Obi right now. I do know he was just out. He's got to get back into a rhythm. But I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't see Obi taking that next step to get to the next level with this New York Knicks team, especially how they're playing now and with minutes are valuable. Like, Obi's got to make a true impact. I just don't know if he's going to get that level of comfort to be able to do it. What do you think about that, Freezy? You think that, can Obi turn it around, and get to that level of play where we were like, yo, Obi needs more minutes again?
I don't think Tibbs like him, bro. I just don't think Tibbs like him or Cam or those dudes' style of play. You know what I'm saying? And is it fair to OB and
Probably.
Cam? No. And if the Knicks had a different coach, would they get some
not
minutes?
at all.
I would think they'd be playing if we had a different coach. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what those two can do to get out of Tom Thibodeau's doghouse. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's fair, but I do think it's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a real thing, man. I mean, it ain't right, but it's just what we deal with. Like if you OB and Cam, you just got to realize, man, no matter what you do, some people just ain't gonna like what you bring, regardless what you do. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter if you do extra stuff or whatever it is. People just ain't. Tibbs just don't. We seen it since day one with OB. Tibbs just don't. You know.
Yeah.
He
Shout out
give them
to
a chance to get out of the doghouse.
Yeah, shout out to Shaw Powers. Appreciate you. Yeah, Danny. So what you think? I think you agree. You think, yeah, like you just said, he doesn't give him a chance to get out the doghouse. Hey, listen, it's tough.
I
man.
got something going.
Yeah.
I'm gonna meet you right back.
All right. I think, like, it's the thing, Danny. Like, I don't know if it at this point. I don't even know if it's anything about. I mean, I know it's easy for us to say as fans that it looks a certain way, but I just feel like at this point, Tibbs, even if he does feel that way, I think Tibbs is just resigned to the fact that, look, I'm gonna play these 9 guys because these 9 guys give me the best chance at winning. And if you fit into those 9 guys, then good for you. I don't know if I'm gonna play you this amount of minutes or not, but you're in it at least. Be happy you're in the mix. And I think that he's just gonna rock with that no matter what. And luckily, Obi is in the 9 right now, but I don't know. Man. And then Cam, unfortunately, Danny, Cam is not. That's it. That's it.
Chance done. He's done. He's done, bro. He's so unfortunate. He's got so many side guys that just has his players and players he doesn't like. That's such a bad thing to do as a coach.
Yeah.
How do you fit him in? How do you minutes do you cut? Whose minutes do you cut? How do you fit him? Squeeze him in? He has his rotations tips that he likes to stick to it. That you can't change it. He's old school. Sometimes you can't old school people. They stick to what they do back in this, and they bring it to this time, even though it's not the right thing. But you know.
Damn.
I think on a rope.
I think I kind of heard. I heard a little bit of what you're saying, Danny, but the connection is just really bad. Like, you're breaking up so much, like I can hear like every other word. I don't know if you're able to move to a different spot, or if you can hit me back, or maybe if you leave the chat and come back in, maybe it'll.
Okay.
Try that.
I'll try that back.
Okay.
I'll come back. All right.
Okay. Yeah, because I know Danny's saying something that, and I can't really understand exactly what it. Agent Super, he said he's underwater. Yeah, he's with Squidward, and there's a lot of plankton out there. Let me see here. Yeah, it's true. Most teams play 9 to 10 guys. It's a fact. The rotation, to me, I'm not bothered by the rotation. I am bothered by the distribution of minutes, because I just think that guys have been playing too much minutes. Now I was happier last night knowing that guys are playing around 32 to 35. I think that's more manageable. It's when you start playing 5 different guys 40 plus minutes. That's a lot for any team. I don't care what team it is. That's a lot to deal with over time. You're gonna get tired and wear down. Let's see, Cully.
Yo, salute, man. Salute, bro. My fault.
Nah, you good. What's good, brother? How
salute,
you doing?
Man. I'm just getting up, getting my stuff together. But yeah. Salute, man. Hope all is well, man. I ain't rock on with you in a minute. I had to get on. I was listening to the show while I was getting myself together. Figure, let me rock, man. Everybody, then I see Danny Land. Shout out to Danny Land. He had bad service just now. Couldn't really hear him that well. So I'm like, let me get on, man. Let me get on with Ron for a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what
man.
I mean?
Appreciate you, bro. It's good to chop it up with you. It has been a minute, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. What you thinking about how we looking right now, man?
No, you know, honestly, I mean, I'll be honest, man. I didn't expect the Knicks to be, you know, Knicks are better than what I took them for. I'll be honest, because I had them as like a playing team at best. And I mean, the season's not over. It's like this was game we won last night was what maybe 43 out of 82 games. So we got about 40 something more games, I think, or maybe 39, 30, 38.
Yeah, I think Freezy, when I had tuned into his show last night at 2 a.m, he said
right.
we
Yeah,
got 39 games left, I believe.
yeah, about 39 games left. So yeah, so you know, I'm cool with the wins. I'm a Knicks fan at heart, and you know what I mean. But my only thing is like with the 9-man rotation, like it's cool. It's cool for chemistry. You guys know who they're playing with. They know the tendencies of each other. But I'm just worried about, is it sustainable? You know what I mean? I mean, getting to the playoffs is cool. I don't want to just get to the playoffs. I want the team to get to the second round. I want to know that we can match up. I want to know that we can beat a team 4 games. You know what I mean? I don't know that yet. Team can be good as much as fans like, but can we beat a team, 4 games? Can we win a 4-game series, a 7-game series? Can we do that? I don't know that yet. So I mean, regular season's cool. As a Knicks fan, I don't want to always see my team. I don't want to always see them finish playing in March. When does the season end? In April? I don't want to always see them. I don't want to always see our team season end in April. I want to see us, when it's nice outside, May, June. I want to see us go far. So
yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So facts. And like you just said, I think you just said with 9-man rotation, Tibbs is going to do it how he wants. And Freezy just said it too. Guys got to get out the doghouse. And because my thing is, like somebody said the other day, the Knicks don't have a bench. They do this. Guys available. Guys are available. It's just Tibbs is particular. He's very particular in his guys, and he'll do that with any team. You know what I mean? It's just he has a certain way how he prefers his players. 1 or 2 bucket getters. He usually prefers. He has his bucket getters who he wants to go get a bucket. The rest of the guys, he wants them to fall in line, stay in the corner, catch it and shoot. That's what he wants. Catch the ball and shoot. And if you're a big man, defend that paint. He don't really care about scorers in the paint. Just defend that paint. Rim protection 24/7 till the game is over. That's what Tibbs wants. But NBA is different. I mean, NBA is just more than that. That's kind of like basic. That's basic coaching right there, which is cool, but that's basic coaching. Yeah. So it's like I'm just worried, is it sustainable what he's doing? That's all. But I'm happy for the wins. The team is better than I thought. Right.
Yeah, I hear you, man. We got to take it when we can, man. Let me see if I can try to get Danny back in here. See how you look at Danny.
Yo.
Hey, you know what I mean? There we go.
What's
now
up, Pelly?
You sound got that crispy audio. You must have switched Verizon. What you got?
Yeah, I'm looking at the comments, man. Comments is funny, man.
Yeah, man. There you go. You good. You back.
What up, Danny?
Yo, what's up, Cully?
What up, brother?
I seen your video. You and Boogie back to Christmas.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We working, man.
You guys are good, man. Keep it going.
Thank you, man. Awesome. Thank you, brother. Jay Boogie was just up here too. I missed him.
I saw him. Yeah.
Yeah, but salute. And so I just want to say one thing to Pudge in chat. Salute Pudge. Said Cully doubted this team. I just admitted I did. I admit it, but the season's not over. I said this team. I remember saying the team is play-in team at best, but they're proving me wrong right now. But I just want to see if it's sustainable. How long can we win? I mean, because the Wizards, we beat them last night. They had us against the ropes last night, though. I will say the Wizards not even all that. So it's like these are teams that are like below average. I want to see us beat a healthy, good team. We have though, but it's been tough. Like how many times have we beat like a healthy, like a fully stacked team? We beat the Jazz. I think we beat one West Coast team on the first West Coast trip. But I haven't seen us beat like a fully healthy team. Like the Bucks gave us work. That was like a week ago, right? Maybe a few days ago. I can't remember.
Mhm.
Right, like the Bucks. I mean, in the we had them against the ropes, but it, in the end they kicked us.
We
So
blew it. We blew that lead, man.
We blew the lead, and that was
We
like a
blew
7-point lead. I wasn't even surprised because they had, guys like Pat Connaughton. I think you just mentioned it too, Ron, not long ago. Somebody on here just mentioned it. The Bucks, Connaughton, Grayson Allen.
Yeah.
Certain guys, he's got Middleton. Somebody, and then if you forgot Middleton. Well, I don't think Middleton played that game, but
No, Middleton hasn't been playing.
Yeah, he hasn't been. He's been like in and out the lineup. I think I know he had the injury. This is a team that they hit the 3-ball at a good clip, and they play defense. These guys play defense, so I want to see us beat a team like that. I don't know, like if we get to the playoffs, I just want to see who we match up against. But I want to know. I'm not fully confident we can win a 4-game series. I don't know.
I'm not confident either. But I will say if they can get there, then anything can happen. But I need the Knicks to. They gotta figure out how to kind of get things together down the stretch of games. The fourth quarter is pivotal, man. It can't just be Brunson being the closer, which I appreciate. I'm glad he's been doing it, but we need other guys to step up and just be smarter with the decision makers. We got to see, listen, it's a little thing, but if you see more of that, then you won't have to worry about it as much in the fourth quarter. Even just watching the other day what Grimes did when he had the layup under the rim and he decided to pull it out and work the ball around, take time off the clock. Then they worked it around and wound up. He not only did they take the time off the clock, he wound up getting a wide open 3, and it helped our cause even more. Like we just need more of that type of play, smart IQ type plays down the stretch, so we don't give the ball to the other team and allow them to get back in the game. Like we got to do stuff like that, more of it.
Yeah, we need a player. We need one more player on this team, man. There's one star missing from this team, man. To be honest, I don't know who Cully. I don't know who Ron trade for, but it's somebody.
Go ahead, Danny. My bad.
No, go ahead.
It's like that was another thing. My bad again, though. That was another thing. I've been that's another thing about this team. You know what's funny? Despite we do need a star, though. I will say we need that one more. But despite all that, I don't even want to make a trade. I want us to use what we have. And I feel like we have more than what Tibbs is showing. We have more than the 9-man rotation. You have Cam. People don't like Cam, but listen, if he's available, use him. For now, see what use him. And then look, you have a winning record. You know what I'm saying? I mean that says more than what it says. And that's my thing. I don't even know who we should trade for because I don't know what we're giving up. I just feel like we should use what we have. I mean, that's just me. I don't know. No, I'm not really crazy.
I hear you. And speaking of that, where is it? Hold on. Let me first up, let me read this. Thank you once again for the generous super chat, Paris Duggar. He said Tibbs doesn't like their lack of competitive fire. That's 100%. I believe that if anybody has said anything about Tibbs, I could say that as 100%. I do not think that he likes their competitive fire. Cam and
he's talking about Cam. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
I can see that. Where was it?
Too laid back of players.
Too laid back. Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Too laid back.
Yeah, I got it somewhere here. Oh, there it is. Yankees fan forever said, "Do you think Cam will get any minutes if he is not traded by the deadline?" Yeah, I think they'd have to play him at that point because it doesn't matter. If anything happens, he gets hurt, he can't be moved right. I mean, you could still move a player, but they're not going to move him at that point. It would go into the off season, right? So, and but if the Knicks can't move Cam by the off season, then this front office has failed. Right, you should be able to move a dude. Right. You know what I mean? You should be able to move Cam to some team because Cam can play still, right? And he's not making big money. Yes, you're just renting him, right? But okay, you're renting him and he's auditioning for a job. The Knicks should definitely be able to move Cam. I don't want to hear anything about him being here after the trade deadline. That's ridiculous, horrible, awful.
Anything's possible, Ron, with Leon Rose at the helm.
You ain't lying, bro. He can get a little tricky out there.
My only thing, you know what, and that's my only thing. Not to cut you guys off, that's my thing too. Okay, moving Cam, I understand. Like, okay, I get it if they move Cam, but my thing is, what's the return value? Because I just feel like if you want to compete, I feel like that's what the team wants to do. If you want to compete, and you're getting a little return value back for Cam because you're not really getting much back. What do you look at? Second round picks? What are you really doing? If you want to compete by just trading this guy, like what do you like? I don't get it. What are you doing to compete by just trading him? Are you
better off just playing him, Cully? That's it. We should just.
That's
play
what I'm saying. Are you going to package him in Fournier for somebody? But I mean, that's the thing. Who are you guys looking at? Like, I mean, I don't know who the team is looking at. I keep hearing these trade proposals, and I hope they're not true. I hope a lot of them aren't true.
Well, hold 1 second. Let me see. Let me get this because I don't want to take it out of context, and if I forget, then I'll lose it. Shout out to Steph. She said no one in the Knicks in the top 30 and is in top 30 in minutes. Every now and again, quickly, RJ will play over 40 minutes, but for the most part, players play between 35 and 38 minutes, which is fair. I mean, that's okay. That is fair. But I'm really not talking about what they've been doing for the season on season average because things were a lot more manageable early. Nowadays, in the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, guys have been playing a lot more minutes, and with Obi being out and then RJ being out, of course, those numbers went up. I was concerned more that Tibbs continues with the trend, but obviously we can see he's calmed down and got some semblance of balance, and so I'm okay with it. I was just saying because I was concerned when I started to see these 5 guys of 40+ minutes. I hope Tibbs don't get back into that style like, this is what's working. I'm going to keep going here. He's calmed down. And when I meant spreading the minutes around, because I also see that you said something about the minute distribution, I mean spreading the minutes around throughout the rotation, not bringing anybody else off the bench or taking, instead of playing Julius 40 minutes and chopping that down to like 25 or something and giving Obi 20 minutes. No. We don't do all that. Guys need to get their minutes. Guys who are stars in this team or, our biggest players, and you give us the most, whether it be defensively or offensively, need to get the majority of the minutes. 30+ minutes, that's fine. It's when you get into that 40 number, I start to worry because guys are going to get tired down the stretch. And this Knicks team who struggles defensively on the whole, in pressure moments, and who isn't the smartest as far as IQ style of play. You want those guys to be as fresh as possible down the stretch of games. You don't want that to be the excuse that guys are tired out there. Right. That's all I was thinking.
Speaking of, Ron, let me ask you a question, you and Danny. Do you think that's what this team is doing with a guy like D Rose? Do you think they're holding him just in case they make the playoffs? Because that's the guy. That's the guy.
Tragedy could be.
Yeah, because that's the guy. Let's say you do make the playoffs, which Knicks can make the playoffs, but let's say they do. Hypothetically, they make the playoffs. Do you think that's the guy that's good for a playoff run? You kind of want him fresh.
That's possible, Cully.
I mean, it's a possibility. Go ahead, Danny. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
I think that's possible because I don't think D Rose is done, bro. I don't think he's done by any minute, any moment. I think he's being saved to save his knees, whatever's bothering him, till they make the playoffs, and then he's going to unleash him. I think he's good to go. I don't think D Rose is just like done, like out of nowhere. Cully, what do you think, bro? What do you think, Cully? I agree with you.
No, I think the same thing. I think. Well, I mean, I did see. I saw rumors before the season started that if the Knicks would do bad, it was preliminary, but they said if the Knicks do bad, then the team will look to trade D Rose. It's like a mutual thing, like to put him on a contender. But this year, I think he's not getting that much run for that reason. For like, let's say they make the. I mean, it could be that before a trade, but I think hypothetically, yeah. Like if they make the playoffs, I think they're saving him for like a nice playoff run, because that's a guy that could help you, in a playoff run. I think healthy, fresh legs. That's just me.
I hear you, bro. Shout out to my guy John. Salute to the Knick Nation in the chat. Smash that like button. Respect.
Yeah,
shout out
John,
to my big bro Ron and Cully for holding it down this Saturday. Appreciate you as always, my brother. And I'm happy that your son went out there and did his thing in the game the other day and basically willed them to a victory, coming back from being down 12 points. Dope. And I know he was a big part of that. So shout out to him. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I'm a little skeptical. Do I think that they, could save Rose for that? Yes, I do think, because, other teams around the league do it. He's 34 years old. I can see the Knicks trying to do that as well. I'm just concerned that as long as Derrick Rose has been a Knick, which we could say maybe it's been about 2.5 years or something like that, because he was with us before for a little spell. This is probably the worst I've ever seen him as a Knick. Now, it could be because he hasn't had a lot of time to be comfortable out there, get into a rhythm, because, basketball is about a rhythm, and certain guys, especially when you get older, you need a rhythm. You know what I mean? So it could be that. But there's been times where I've seen Derrick out there. He's making bad passes. His shots are not, they're a little low, like, when you don't have your legs under you. When he gets to the rim and stuff like that, like different things that I've never seen since I've watched Derrick Rose. And, that happens to a lot of players as they get a little older. So I don't know. It could be that, or it could be that the Knicks really feel like he's lost a step and now it's time to move on from him. They don't want him getting hurt because they want him to continue to be able to play, and they want to be able to have him as good or as healthy as possible to move on to another team. I don't know. But that is a possibility, saving him for the playoffs. They don't really need to put him out there right now. And if you're going to have him, you use him during that time. I can see that too, because Derrick has definitely been very good for us in tough moments. I just don't know if he's still got it. He might, but I'm not sure.
Right. No, I agree. It's like same thing you said. It looks sometimes like he lost a step. The minutes. I don't know.
Yeah,
because
I do. I'm telling you, I've never seen Derrick Rose like that, man. I've never seen him come in here. He's made bad passes. He gets a little aggressive with it, but then he makes great passes too. Does things that other guys maybe don't do, wrap around passes. But dribbling the ball off his feet and stuff, and I don't know. I haven't seen that from him. So it's like, I'm not sure. Shout out to Building Blocks. I don't know if I shouted you out before. Appreciate you, my brother. Good to see you. Pudge Nice in the building. Salute to you, my guy. Appreciate you. AJ Bula is in the building. He said Cam is not playing anymore. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Gary Burns is in the building. Salute to you. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here, bro. Thank you. Angel Blue is here. Salute. Wilson Dang is in the building. Salute, my guy. I think I got all the newcomers. If I missed you, it's not for lack of trying, man. I apologize. I had started a couple questions that I saw. Oh, Jay Giant is in the building. What's good, Jay Giant? Appreciate you. L. Servey said Cam and Washington protected first-round pick for Kuzma. Yeah, it's not enough, bro. Unfortunately,
I like that guy they keep mentioning, Vanderbilt. I like Vanderbilt. A lot of people talk about him.
Well, I mean, the good thing about Vanderbilt, he's got some talent, and you can get him on the cheap.
Exactly. That's why I like him. He's a solid player you can get for cheap. Good defender, athletic. He's not really a scorer, but you get down on him. You're getting defense. This is a guy that plays.
Maybe that's all they need, bro.
Yeah, I agree. He'll play his role very well. He can guard multiple positions. I think, like maybe 1 through 4, maybe. So I wouldn't mind Vanderbilt on this team. That's just me. I agree.
No, I see it. I can see that. Where is it? Okay. And then I wanted to say that I just don't think that today's NBA trade expectations is very high. It's very high. So going for a Kuzma is going to cost you some change, some coin in your assets. So Kuzma, I read it earlier, man. Kuzma had, what was it? I think I just had it.
He almost stole the game from us last night too.
Yeah, man. You can't.
Get pissed off, man.
Kuzma is that type of player that he gives you these type of games, and so Washington ain't gonna give him away. They're
I'm thinking
try to pump up his value, B.
Right, like maybe 2 picks in a player type of thing. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it could be 2 picks and 2 players.
2 picks and 2 players. Yeah, that type of
Because
right.
you know they trying to pump up the value. And what did he have once again? He had 40 points and 7 rebounds and 7 assists. So he shows versatility. Plus, he plays adequate defense. Me and Sherwin going back and forth whether he's a really good defender or not. I don't know, but he plays adequate defense.
Yeah,
so
adequate.
A team can use him. He can fit their scheme. And
Right,
so
right.
that's enough for them to say he's got value, because there's not a lot of two-way players in the league. And if you can play adequate on one side and then have moments where you could be explosive on the other side, there's a lot of value there. So I don't know, man, but if they were able to do something like that, I'd be very happy, El Servi.
Right.
What else? JJ said, what spot would we upgrade in the starting lineup? Small forward. Small forward is it for me. And I know that says, what do you mean? Because you see that RJ is playing small forward. I still kind of feel like RJ should be playing that 2 guard, and that we should be getting a more talented defensively type of guy to play that small forward in the lineup. But that's me. And I wish it was Grimes, but Grimes too short. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we need to make the marginal moves, man. I don't think we're getting a superstar. But I don't know. I do like Zach LaVine. I have mixed opinions about him, but I don't know. I think we should make the marginal moves, small moves. Add. I think we should add instead of trade. Because I don't know. I mean, I think Jared Vanderbilt only costs us maybe a pick. I think I think you can get him for cheap while you can. I think that's a good little move to make. Good defender.
And I also think, Cully, that we don't, at this point, we don't need to focus on getting a trade piece that's going to be a starter. Very good bench player would help this team a lot.
Right. Yeah, this is a guy that exactly. There's a guy that come right off the bench. He'll accept his role. I think that's what you should go for. And he's cheap. You know what I'm saying? And I see, it's funny. I'm also pissed off too, because I think the Knicks were looking at Gary Trent, and that's a guy I wanted. I wanted Gary Trent in Julius's most improved season. I wanted him right after that season. Him and Oubre.
I remember. I know.
Yeah, these are 2 guys I would have took. Him and Oubre, because the athleticism, they play good defense. 2 guys I would have taken. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of people had both those guys on their list. And at that time, who was Norman Powell. That was the 3.
Norman Powell,
yeah.
I'd have got all 3 of them. You could have got them all for the money that the Knicks had. I would have got all 3 of them, because that equates to what's the name got Fournier. That equates to 75 mil. I would think you could have got all 3 of them, and you could have called it a night, man.
That's crazy. Bro.
Norman Powell can give you buckets too, and so can Gary Trent. Look at Gary Trent. Now he's averaging. I think he's averaging what, 15, 16. I can't remember, but he's putting up decent numbers in Toronto right now. I think he's shooting better. His average is shooting. I think his shooting average is better this season. I can't remember, but that's a guy.
Sometimes it's place and time, Cully. Because I guarantee you, if the Knicks had gone into that offseason and Jalen Brunson was already on the team, we might have been in a better position to get those guys, because then we look more attractive. And Gary Trent is like, oh yeah, I'll go to New York. Why not? Or Norman Powell might say, yeah, they got a point guard, they got Julius, they got RJ. Yeah, why not? You know what I mean? I just think that maybe at that time we didn't look as attractive to these guys, and they were like, well, I'm already in this situation, I'll stay here, or I'll take my chance, over here, because Norman Powell to the Clippers, like, come on.
All 3 of these guys, well, with the exception of Oubre, all those guys was traded. That's the only thing. That's why I'm like,
oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they was traded. Gary Trent.
Wait, but I thought Norman Powell had signed the free agent deal that year. I could be wrong. Maybe
he might have, but no, he was traded from the was it the Raptors to the Blazers for the guy? He was traded for Gary Trent, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what it was. Okay, yeah, the swap. They did the swap. Yeah,
I would have got those are the 2 guys I wanted the most. I think Norman Powell was going to be a free agent, I think, that year, that summer, and so was Gary Trent. I think that's what the case was. I think, but you're right though. Some guys they get traded, and their thing is, I think I like this team here. Let me see what I can do here. Things like that. Like you said. But yes, we could have got them before all that, man. I would have even took Covington. Like those are good. These are good defenders. That's why I would have taken them. Good defenders to to help with what you have. Especially
I
with that JV.
always like Covington. Yeah.
Yeah, these guys were cheaper like before they are now. But I mean, yeah, it is what it is. It already happened. But yes, I would have loved to have got them before they got traded. Before they got because Norman Powell, he's on the Clippers now. I think he likes where he's at now. They have a better chance than us. I mean, I think so. I would think so. So
honestly, I don't think I wouldn't do it, but Kuzma is that guy that I could see the Knicks getting.
Kuzma? Yeah, I can see them getting him at the deadline. I could see them doing that because Kuzma is not going to re-sign with the Wizards, and him and the fashion stuff and loving New York. I could see that be attractive to him, and I could see the Knicks saying, you know what, he's probably one of the best possible talented people we can get at this very moment. But that's only if they decide that we definitely need to bring in a piece, because like we were talking about, we don't know that. The Knicks have been playing pretty well. I mean, we see where they're at in the middle of the pack, and they're moving up, and they're 24-19 in a very stacked Eastern Conference where all these teams can win on any given night, and they're holding their own with what they got. So they may just say, like to Cully's point, maybe they only need to go and get like a Vanderbilt type guy, or maybe someone else, but you don't got to break the bank. You just add another piece that plays defense that fits the scheme. Like I don't know who's on the buyout market. I really don't even know this year. But yeah, like you said, I wouldn't really break the bank too much. Try to make like a marginal move. This is what they should have did in 2 seasons ago in Randall's most improved year. Don't look to make a trade at the deadline. You don't have to, but make something small, like with the D Rose trade when they first traded for D Rose, something small like that.
Right.
A guy you're not using for a guy like D Rose, that was an upgrade. You know what I mean? I mean, Dennis Smith is playing well now. Well, I think he is, but neither here nor there. But it's a marginal move, something timely, something small and timely.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, Vanderbilt can give us some energy. That could be a guy that can, and he gives us size, length, all that stuff. All the stuff we don't, all the stuff, some of the stuff we're missing, I would think.
Shout out to the chat once again. Appreciate you, Nick Yak. I might have said your name earlier, but I want to say it again to make sure I don't miss you. Appreciate you, my brother. Shout out to Knicks fans, Brazil. Victor in the building. What's going on, brother? Salute. Appreciate you. I just saw somebody's name that I was gonna. Craig is in the building. What's going on, Craig? Good to see you. And then there was one. Lewis Hedges is here. Appreciate you, Lewis. Thank you for being here as always. What was I gonna say? Oh, my ultimate plan for the Knicks right now, just by the way they're moving, how they're doing things, is possibly add a piece that doesn't cost you too much at the trade deadline. A guy who comes in knowing that he can play, that he can play defense, right? Someone who can probably be flipped. Either he can be a 3 or 4, or he can be a 2 or 3.
Exactly.
But he's definitely a 3. Like he's got to have that type of height, 6'7", 6'8" height.
6'8",
you know what I mean?
Right.
And then you play the season out. Whatever happens, happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go into the off season, right? And that draft, like this draft needs to be an impact move for the Knicks. If the Knicks draft at a certain position and there's guys there that they think can come in and have true impact, go get those guys and put them in the situations to make the team and make the rotation. But if not, if say there's estimated, that okay, the Knicks will draft at this position and these 3 guys might be there. If a team is interested, use those picks and go get you an impact player that can come in and help this Knicks team. Doesn't have to be a superstar player. Like I said earlier in the show, Eru had mentioned the other day, there's 39 guys that are averaging 20+ points in the NBA right now. Not all of them are superstars. Not all of them are stars, but they can score. And some of them can play defense. you might be able to trade with a team that's kind of,
Right.
capped in what they can do. They don't have a lot of draft picks. And maybe they're like, oh, we want to get some young talent into our system because we're veteran based and, whatever. Like those picks that the Knicks got, make them be something. They got to count for something. Either you bring guys in or you use those picks to actually bring in an impact type player that helps the team. That's all I'm saying.
No, I agree, man. I agree with who said that? Ron? I mean, John. John said that.
Oh, what?
About
Oh no.
not all the
about
guys.
the. No, I said that.
Eru? Oh, you said okay. My bad.
Yeah. Eru said there's 39 guys that are
39
scoring 20 or more points. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, especially in the past week or two, man. Guys been having 50-point games. Yeah, man.
It's
No,
been
but like
crazy,
you said,
bro.
that's true though. They're not stars. That's the thing. A lot of people want the Knicks to have 5 stars as starters and 5 stars on the bench. It's not gonna happen. You have to accept guys are gonna have deficiencies. Like we got to start somewhere. But we got to start. We got to do it the right way. That's all.
And not to cut you off, Cully, but that don't work anyway.
Very good.
Like it depends on what sport you play. Sometimes, even in that though, like the Yankees had at one point put a star everywhere, and that don't always guarantee a championship, right? And then when you're talking about basketball, having all those players that are good and can light it up at different positions, it doesn't work.
Too many cooks in the kitchen, man.
Yeah, because guys lose rhythm. They don't get the touches they need to be adequate. And then when you call on them, it's not the same. You're like, oh, what's wrong with this dude? Well, he's not being featured.
Yeah, and then look at the Lakers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not saying
they did get a championship in the bubble.
They did get a championship, right. They did get a championship. But, like, that's a prime example right there of this season and the last season. Not ignoring the championship. They got there. They got there how they got there. But yeah, we don't need, especially in New York though. It's a lot of drama in New York. Too many lights. Too many cooks in the kitchen. We got to be more gritty. You know what I mean? Last time we was in championship, right? Actually, no. Let me not say that. That was '99. Before that, when we played the Rockets, who was the main star? Patrick Ewing.
When we played when we played the Rockets, the main star was Patrick Ewing.
The main star was Patrick, right? Like, and I love Patrick Ewing. And outside of him, most of the guys they was guys that was warriors, pretty much. They was road dogs. They was guys that had his back. John Starks, Oakley. I think we had Oakley. I think Charles Smith.
We did.
Charles Smith. I think. Rest of the guys was pretty much. It was guys that they played. They were role players, but these were high caliber role players. Like these guys that played their role well. I think that's the reason why I think that's the reason why it worked. Because the Knicks was I don't remember if the Knicks was a top seed at the time, but yeah, like that. I think that's what we should. I don't know, but you need talent, of course, but I don't know, man. I think the Knicks should make a small move, man. Don't gut the team. Don't trade nobody. Yeah, add what you can, but for a low price.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense right now too, Cully. That doesn't make sense to go too crazy if you don't have a foolproof plan on how this whole thing is going to play out. You don't just do something just to do it. I think it's going to work. You got to know exactly how these pieces, what's the direction, how it's all going to play out, and then what are you going to do? What can you do after you make the moves? Like sometimes you need an off season to be able to figure that out. You can't just do it at the trade deadline.
Right, exactly. I'm still worried about what are the Knicks' plans. That's what I'm worried about, but. We'll see.
Shout out to Craig. He said, "Do you think we need Alex Caruso?" Because that is the rumor going around right now that the Knicks and the Lakers are interested in Alex Caruso. Lakers should have never let him go. That was their mistake. Shout out to Andy N, by the way. He says, "Is it only me or is Cully's voice so soothing and nice to hear?"
That's funny. Thank you, Andy. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, it's funny how the Lakers want their old players back. They want Caruso back. They inquired about Kuzma. I find it so funny. But no, Caruso, what's funny? I like Caruso. Caruso's a good player to have on the team, but I feel like we have that already in Deuce and Grimes. Like he's more of a backcourt defender. He's not really a wing defender. This is a guy that's energy. He'll play both sides. But we have that already, I feel like.
Yeah, but like I agree with you. And for me as a fan, of the Knicks, I don't think Caruso's the guy. Caruso gets hurt too much, and I think he's offensively challenged.
Right.
So we got
Exactly.
that
Right.
already. Like, but like to me, you got to get a guy who might be able to get you a couple buckets, and can play defense, because like you said, Grimes is better offensively, but he has his moments where he doesn't show up. Last night he was 2 for 10. Deuce is offensively challenged, right? And so why bring in another guy like Caruso to be similar in that situation? I think you need a guy now, unless you get Caruso on cheap, and it is what it is. Like we just talked about, getting players on the cheap that could just fit in and play in the defensive scheme and make it. But the other thing with Caruso is that the guy always gets hurt. He don't stay healthy. I just rather get somebody like, and I know Almighty Finesse keeps mentioning he'll take OG over RJ. I'd like to take OG with RJ. I like to put them both here. But the asking price may be crazy too. Toronto ain't giving nobody away either. So
right. The funny thing about that, you know what's funny about that? And OG is a cool player. It's funny because if you want talent, RJ is a guy you may have to trade, and like people don't accept that. That's a guy you may have to give up. Like everybody wants these guys. That's a guy you may have to give up for like an actual, good caliber player. Or it might have to be RJ.
100%.
Of course, you
Sometimes you got to get rid of somebody.
Right. Of course, you would want to pair him up, but that's a guy you have to move. I like RJ.
You know what's the bad thing about everything? See, this stuff happens for a reason, right? Because the team needs to learn to get through things. But the bad thing about it is when you start showing that you can have a little success without certain players, and those players are kind of iffy, fans start to really move on. Like, the fact that the Knicks were playing pretty well without RJ being out there, guys start to look expendable.
Right.
So,
no, that's true.
Yeah. Shout out to Paris Duggar once again. Thank you for the generous super chat. He said, did it ever cross your mind that Leon and Wesley haven't traded Cam or Obi because they feel it's Tibbs and not them who is making a mistake about them? That could be true too. They Leon did say that this is Tibbs's team and he's going to let Tibbs make the decisions with regards to the rotation. He said that in his interview. So maybe they're okay with, okay, Tibbs, you don't want to play Cam. Fine. We will try to see if we can trade him, because I know that's Cam's request. But they also may not be that willing, because they were the ones who gave up a pick to get Cam here. So, it's true. There could be some point.
I highly agree with that. Yeah, I do. What did he say? He said, he said it's Tibbs that's making the mistake about him, right?
Right.
No, I highly agree with that. Yes, it is. It's not easy to trade them. It's not. It's just. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there might be teams inquiring about Obi. I don't think Cam. You're not getting really much back, and I don't think Leon might not want to make that move. He might have to make that move because he might see that, oh, this guy's stubborn. He's not going to play this guy, so I might just have to do it. But come on, a second round picks. Like I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure if Cam played more games, his value would be up. You could probably get somebody way better than that than a second round pick. I mean, if you want to compete. So yeah, I can agree with that. They may not, and plus Leon Rose might not want to trade Obi. He might not. At heart, he drafted him. He might not want to. He might want to give it more time. That's the line between the coach and the management. And it's not. This is not surprising with Tibbs. This is not the first time this happened with Tibbs and a team.
That's true. And the other thing about Cam is the only thing that makes this what it is that Cam is not on the contract. Because then it would get real interesting. Say we were going through this whole scenario with Cam, and Cam had 2 years left on his deal. Then it would be different, and maybe none of this would be happening, and Cam would be playing. And if there was an issue between Cam and Tibbs, whatever, maybe the front office might say, well, the kid has talent, he's got value, we got to use him, figure out the best way, unless he's a detriment to the team. But the fact that this is the last year of his deal, and if the Knicks really want to keep this guy, they got to pay him. That's what's kind of making it so. I think that's why the front office is not, they're like, it is what it is. That's why I think it's like that. It's only because Cam is due to get money. If Cam was already under contract, maybe things would be different.
And the funny thing with that, it's not like Cam is asking for $100 million. I mean, I don't think the guy's asking for $100.
I mean, he'd be crazy to ask for that. Not right now.
He would be out his mind. Exactly. It's funny because I don't think he's asking for a lot. I don't think his asking price is high. I don't know what he's asking for, but I don't know, man. I think it's a narrative by the Knicks, man.
Yeah, Nick Yak can make a good point. He said if he thought highly of Obi, he would play him more than 12 minutes.
Absolutely.
It's true. It's almost like Obi has regressed. Like Obi has gone from, being in Tibbs's doghouse, like always screaming at him and not giving him a real chance, which affected his psyche, which Obi mentioned, to earning the minutes, getting the shot, Obi taking advantage, and then the Knicks struggling this year, Obi not showing any real development as far as the defensive side. We did see starting off the season, Obi's 3-point shot looked good. He was at one point, he was the best 3-point shooter on the team. And then he started to come down from that. And then he wasn't playing better defense. So if you're not shooting lights out from three in comparison to the rest of the guys, and then your defense is not improving, automatically Tibbs is like, no. Because it seems like all Tibbs really cares about these days is 3-point shots and defense. So if that's not happening, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's tough. And it's not like Obi is not a throwback type player that is like crazy aggressive. He's not like the Corey Maggettis that, you get him the ball and he's going to dunk on you or something, like he's not that way. He just don't play that way. And that will put you and you created your own doghouse in my mind. So I don't know how they can kind of go get around that unless Obi makes a change. And to me, I don't think at this point, I think Obi's change needs to be going to a different team. I think that'll help him with a different coach. Maybe they can bring the best out of him. He'll feel comfortable. And, then we'll regret it. We'll say, man, look at how Obi's playing. But sometimes you need a different change of scenery to get that out of somebody.
I can agree. Yeah. I can agree, man. I hate to see Obi go like that, but I mean, hey, my thing is, what's funny? I always have this question: who and what does Tibbs want? Because some people say, "Oh, you got to get him to pieces." Who does he want? Like, I'm trying to figure it out.
I don't know, man. I really don't know what Tibbs is looking for. No, actually, I do. Remember, Tibbs did say he wants a defensive. He wanted a 3-and-D defensive small forward type guy, wing player, and the Knicks still have not given him that. They tried because it kind of fell in their lap with Cam. They thought that's what they were giving him with Cam, but you guys know on the surface, man, everybody knew what the book was on Cam. Cam is one of those. He gets hurt, and if he's not hurt, he plays lackadaisical style, and he's never really shown his full potential. Is that the type of guy you want to give Tibbs? I don't know. Like, that's not. I mean, I would say that's not him. Before they even got him, I would say that I don't know if Cam is the right fit.
Right.
But I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. They gotta figure that out. And who knows? You give Tibbs that 3-and-D guy that he's been looking for, like an OG Anunoby or whoever else. I don't know who else fits the mold that they would get. But if you give him a guy like that, Tibbs might take this Knicks team to another level.
Only thing with that, because like my thing with that is OG is a good player. He's a very good player. It's just that I feel like only thing Tibbs would do is just play him longer.
But playing a guy like OG longer with that type of defense he brings, I mean, could you imagine seeing certain lineups where you got OG out there with Grimes out there with Quickly, you got Mitch and then Julius, or something like that. Like, there's going to be some moments having an OG out there where the Knicks can play lockdown defense. It could remind you of how they were in that fourth place season with Bullock out there and Payton, because the Knicks played really good defense. Even guys like Derrick Rose had really good moments of defense during that time because just everybody bought in. So, I mean, you never know. That might get the Knicks to being top 10, top 5 in defense. And,
right.
That may be all this Knicks team needs.
It's just that a guy like him is going to cost.
Right. I'm not saying they'll be a championship contender, guys. I'm just saying that might be all they need to be a playoff type team. And then they can just go from there and see what works.
That's more of a Tibbs guy, though, OG.
Yeah. OG is definitely that type of guy.
Yeah. So I think Vanderbilt is too, somewhat. He'll bring. He's more of a I guess a more aggressive defender than Cam. Cam is more like a laid back defender. So and I like Cam too, man. I like him a lot. I feel we could use him, but it's not me. It's the coach. But yeah, it sucks. But
I agree with that. Tibbs wants complete players. Sherwin says, yeah, that's true. That is his style. I mean, Tibbs is a no nonsense type of guy, man. He knows what he likes already. He's coached so many different teams and for so long in the league. It is what it is. Gibson,
in fact, not to cut you off, my bad. And yeah, May 4th he just said what I said too. Vanderbilt can do everything OG can do for less. Yeah, exactly. That's why I would get a guy like Vanderbilt. I think that's a good little timely move, and he could defend.
That's why I'm glad you brought it up. I'm glad they brought it up in the chat, and then you brought it up on the show. Like, yeah, I agree with that. He's not a bad guy to get.
Right. This is an energetic guy, and he can guard multiple positions. And I think he gets hurt. I don't know. I don't think he gets hurt as much as OG. OG's always hurt. That's the only thing with him. But as far as like when he's healthy, he's solid. He's gonna bring it.
Have you noticed that OG's been pretty healthy this year? He usually is always hurt, but this year he's been fairly healthy.
Contract year too?
I don't know. I'll be wondering about that. You know how crazy that be,
right?
Kelly.
Because his contract years, guys, all of a sudden, they show up to every game, perfect attendance.
Freaking Mitch is always hurt, and in his contract year, do play 72 games. Like what?
Right.
Like
how they
do this, bro?
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think this is OG's. I think it is. I'm not sure. Or I think his contract ends next season. I'm not sure, but I think it is, though. That's the funny part about it. And it's funny. Another guy I like, asking price is stupid high for this guy, Siakam. I know it's very high.
We're forget about that.
Yeah, we're talking about maybe three picks, 2 players. That's what we're talking about with Siakam. I liked him. I liked him since they won that finals. I looked at him. I'm like, damn, we could use a guy like that. Now I knew they wasn't gonna give him up. I'm like, nah, they staying with Siakam.
Yeah,
he's still there, but that's a guy I wanted from the start. Now I want guys before their values goes up. Those are the guys I like before their value increases and they're harder to get. Sometimes you got to catch them before that, but yeah.
I agree with that, man. Getting a guy like Siakam, nice. OG actually has 2023-24, 2024-25. So he's got 2 more years on his deal.
Oh, okay. And May 4th said, my fault.
Go ahead.
May 4th said McDaniels. You talking about Jaden McDaniels? I think that's another guy I would have liked, too. I think he's a wing, right? Wing, power forward. I think McDaniels is another guy, yeah. That's another guy I wanted too, man. Wing, lengthy, good on both sides of the ball. That's another guy. McDaniel, cheap. Sometimes you just got to get guys for cheap, so be it.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. It's because it's not like, in free agency, you sell high or you buy high. The trades, I don't know.
You know what, Gibson, I don't mind this either. Like I don't mind getting a guy like Trent Jr. Before the deadline, adding another key piece and see what we do in the draft. I'll be okay with that too. Like that's not a break the bank type move, even though he is pretty hot lately. So Toronto could really try to capitalize on this, and the asking price might be more than you'd expect for Gary Trent. Like, not that he doesn't deserve a fair offer, but they might try to inflate the offer a little bit right now. But I like Gary Trent. So that's not bad. Andy says, I don't think Tibbs is iso ball, but wait, hold on. I don't think Tibbs is about 3-point shooting and defense. Frank in his last year here was the best 3-point shooter percentage wise, and defense not needed to be mentioned. However,
he's right about that.
Yeah, but Frank hasn't been a Knick for a minute. Remember, going into last year's offseason, before we got Kimba and Fournier, Tibbs said, we are going to try to change the style of play and open it up, and also have guys on the perimeter who can stretch the floor so we create better lanes for the offense to flow through. And at that time, guys, remember in the offseason, they were talking to Knicks players, they were watching them in practice, and they were looking at Nerlens Noel shooting threes. And he's like, yeah, the coach wants us to start doing this. That is not how he was when Frank was here. He's changed. When Frank was here, and it was different. But I'm saying he's changed his style of philosophy in regards to the offense and what he wants out there as far as floor spacing. This year, it's a
Right.
little different because you got better ISO players on the team with Brunson being here. But still, you know, we shoot a lot of threes. As a team that don't shoot well from three, we shoot a lot of threes. So
Right, we do. We
just
definitely
saying.
put stuff a lot. Yeah.
Uh,
He's like you said. You just said it. Yeah, he believes in that 3 ball. He wants that 3 ball to fall.
Parrish said, offense stats guy. Yeah, right. Well, yeah, I am. Grimes, McBride, Sims, Mitch are utility stars. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I'm okay with that. But remember, actually, I'm comfortable with how the Knicks play today as long as it makes sense and we're consistent. But I am a 90s Knicks team type guy, and the 90s Knicks play defense,
Gritty.
hard-nosed defense. So yeah, I'm all about defense, guys. I
Yeah,
love
gritty.
defense.
That's why I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, gritty. Yeah. No, yes. I want to. That's why I like guys. I want us to get a bunch of defensive guys, man. I don't want to see teams have a parade when they come in here, man. You know what I mean? I want that too. Of course, you need your bucket getters, but I think we need everything as much as we need everything else. Like, we need finishing, we need athleticism. Because I don't look at numbers, I look at impact. That's what I look at. You know, things that don't show up. They only show up when you watch the game, but things that don't show up on the stat sheet. A lot of guys always talking these numbers. I'm looking at the impact, man. I want to see a guy come in and all of a sudden the dynamic of the game changes when the guy comes in. That's what I want to see. So yeah, the Knicks, they should be all right, man, if they make the right move, the right timely move.
I agree with that. That to me, I think they don't need to go crazy. Building blocks. Oh, well, first off, Knicks Nation 112 said Cam is not a finished product. Cam is not mature physically and mentally, kind of like Kevin Knox. You have to let these kids mature mentally, physically, and emotionally to maximize their talent. Very true. Very true. I unfortunately think that Cam needed a weird type of opportunity that doesn't happen to a lot of young guys. Cam needed to be on a team like OKC, where, you know, OKC is just building towards the future, but they let those young guys go out there and play. Cam needed one of those type of situations, and I think it would have really helped him mature physically, mentally, and also really get to showcase his talent. You know, a guy like SGA has been able to just, you know, do what he likes to do out there and show his skill and talent. But he works really hard and is very aggressive, and his game has been the best you've ever seen it this year as opposed to every other year. He's always gotten better, but this year is probably his best so far. I mean,
You talking about Cam?
No, SGA.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm saying you put Cam in a situation like that where he can just grow with the team. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of expectations and the team is still building. That might work for Cam.
I think also Cam has to build his body. Like, I think you just said it. Oh, no, Knicks Nation just said it. Yeah, mature mentally, physically. Cam has to build his body for those for NBA minutes too, because he always gets hurt. I mean, that's just guys got to work on, you know, staying durable. I think once Cam does that he'll be a finished product. I think he has. I mean, he has a laid back game. You can't really change. You can't really make a guy a dog out of nowhere. I mean, you could light a fire under some guys, but like you just said, I think certain situations will bring out the best in guys. I don't think Cam is a bad player at all, man. He's solid. He's a laid back player. That's just what he is. But he has something you can utilize. He has length. He can get out on the open floor. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure he can work on his shooting. But, you know, there's a guy that you got to play him to his strength. You don't build a team around him, but he's a good piece to a team. He can be like a third option. You know, he's like one of those. He's a sneaky player that'll give you buckets. Sneaky. That's why you got to use him like that.
Shout out to Building Blocks. He said, should Jaden McDaniels be a possible target? Jaden McDaniels is some untapped talent there. He's got really good length. He plays decent defense, I believe.
On the Wolves, right?
Wolves? Yeah. He's the type of guy that a team could be fortunate because there's other guys over there that the ball is featured through. So Jaden McDaniels, you put him in a different situation and give him a little bit more usage, you might get something nice out of Jaden McDaniels. So yeah, he's solid, man. Solid. He's a thought. Shout out to oh man, I already lost two I was gonna shout out. Crap. Oh, Francisco Carrillo. Appreciate you, my brother. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here. I think I already said what's up to Kevin Middleton. Thank you, as always, brother. Someone said, oh, well, May 4th. Dude, come on, man. Herb Jones was nice. Of course, I would love Herb Jones on the Knicks.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna happen, bro. Hold on. There was somebody who said something, and I was like, but before I get to that, I'll get to Parrish Duggar's super chat if I can find it. Just had it too. Where'd it go? There it is. Obi, he said, oh, thank you for the generous super chat, Parrish Duggar. He said, Obi didn't regress. He gave up. The thrill is gone. I don't know. I don't know if I just feel like Obi also is a rhythm player, and he needs the time to gel. He needs the time to feel confident in his offensive ability. Like if the shot's not falling for Obi, and we already know Obi struggles on the defensive end, then Obi gets down on himself. Obi doesn't show his true value when his head is not in the game, when he's not feeling confident. You don't see the best of Obi. Now, let me ask you, Parrish, are you down on Obi, or like you done with him? Because I know Parrish likes athletic players, right? So, and Obi was that guy for you at one point. Are you not feeling him anymore? I mean, how do you feel about Obi, Cully? Like, do you think that Obi needs to be traded?
Damn. It's funny. Like, nah, I don't. Not yet. Not yet. I feel like he hasn't even got the chance yet. I mean, unless you're like, I'm not gonna lie. I think I don't know if it was Sherwin that said Pack swap him for Vanderbilt. I probably would make that move. I'm not gonna lie, because it probably would help the team. Because Vanderbilt's he's just better. He is a better player. But Obi, I don't know. I feel like he hasn't been given a chance yet. I mean, you know what he can do. You know he's athletic. You know that much. I don't know, man. It's hard for me to say. I don't feel like not. I don't know. I feel like not yet. But if you could swap him for someone better, then yeah, you do it. I'll say that. If you could swap him for someone better right now, and it's not gonna cost you much, then yeah, just do it right now. I'll be honest.
Do you feel like maybe even, I mean, for the sake of the fact that Obi's not giving the Knicks much at this but it's only been a couple games, but at this very time, he's not giving them that much. But do you think it's just better overall, even for just Obi, for him as a young player?
Yeah.
Like maybe just getting him to a better situation for him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that's good for him. Yeah. A better situation where he can play, get more minutes and thrive. So yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Jared Vanderbilt's he's on the Jazz, right?
Yeah, he's on the Jazz.
Yeah. Obi for Jared Vanderbilt.
I'm not gonna lie, I probably would do that too. I think it'd be better for both parties. You know what I mean? And the Jazz, I think they're going in a different direction. I think you see Jordan Clarkson, he turned down the extension deal or something like that. I think they're going in the younger direction. I don't know what they're doing. Only Danny Ainge knows, and he's pretty good at finessing. But I think they're going younger maybe. So yeah, I would. That could help us if we're looking at the Knicks are looking to compete. If our very own Knicks are looking to compete, then yeah, Jared Vanderbilt's not an all-star, but he's a good role player. He's a good player, especially if he's healthy. I wanted this guy. This is another guy I wanted in the offseason. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't think his value is going to go up that much because he's not really a scorer. He's a good defender, an athletic defender. So there's not much. I'm not talking bad about the guy, but there's not much value there. There's not much to give up for him. So that's a marginal move you make right there. That's one move you make. You can make that way before the deadline. Then you can make some other moves before. I think the deadline is what, February 9th?
Is it?
I think so. I think February 9th is less than a month. So that's a move I would make today. If you're gonna do something, do it now. I mean that's what I would do.
Yeah, it is February 9th. Shout out to Cully for being on it. All right, man. Appreciate you.
No doubt, bro.
Yeah. Danny Landis said, Ron, I think the perfect trade and fit would be Brandon Ingram. Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I've always liked Brandon Ingram, always liked Brandon Ingram's game, but I don't know if I want to get him on the Knicks uniform just to see what outfit he's got on at the game because the dude don't play. Like he's always hurt. Like I don't know what's going on, man. These guys.
Wait, which guy? My fault.
Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I like him, but I just feel like the Knicks need consistency and solid, healthy guys. Even if that means say you had a guy who is an A, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then there's a guy who's a B. If the guy who's an A can get you 30 points per game, and the guy who's a B can get you 20, but the guy who's a B can play defense and is healthy, I'd rather have the guy who's a B, because the guy who's an A could be Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal's always hurt. You know what I mean? Like, I just, that's just how I look at it. For this Knicks team, other teams, you look at things differently. You may not need that. But for this Knicks team, they need somebody who's healthy.
Right.
But, yeah.
Speaking of, what's up with Bradley Beal? He's hurt, right?
Yes, he is.
He's been for a while, I think. Right?
I mean, he's not super hurt, because last night I saw him in between timeouts. He was dancing, so he's not that bad, I guess.
Okay. I think he's been hurt for a minute too, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but yeah.
I don't know, man. Up and down, bro. I appreciate him. I like his loyalty to his team, but let's keep that loyalty going. Let him stay over there in Washington.
Right. That contract, I think he has a big contract. I think we should I don't know. I mean, I like him though. I like him. I'm not even gonna say much.
Sherwin. I think you know what? There's a little troll in you too, Sherwin. I see it now. I didn't know it was there before, but you love to kind of bring up old narratives to make your point.
No,
I'm all about defense. No, I'm all about good product out there. But I am a 90s Knicks defense type player, but this is not the 90s Knicks. So I have to change what I like and what works for my team and what we got out there. So I'm not going to look at it like that no more. We're in a different day and age. But once again, I've already said I like Obi Toppin, but I think he needs to go. I said that already. So if I'm that big of an Obi fan, why would I want to trade him from my team? Like, I just want what's best for the Knicks.
Right. Yeah. Right. I agree with that, Ron. Sherwin wants everybody in the team to be good defenders, which I could understand.
I get it. I know. Like I said it. Like guys like Parrish loves athleticism. Guys like Sherwin love defense. I know. I understand.
I think I like both, but I like athleticism. I can't lie. I'm with Parrish on that one.
And Andy says the New York Knicks want to do right by Derrick Rose and send him to an ideal situation per the Stein line. Yeah, that makes sense. So that goes back to the thing that I think that the Knicks feel like Derrick Rose is not what they need for the team at this moment at his 34-year-old self. So they would like to get him to a place that he feels comfortable with so that he can decide to, retire or finish out his career there. And, they do the right thing. I agree with that. They should, because you know what? Derrick didn't have to come back here the second time around. And guys like that, you have to try to do right by him. And Taj Gibson both, made themselves available. Taj more so because we traded for Rose to bring him back, but Taj came out of retirement to come back. So, but stuff like that you got to keep in mind. Parrish says, "Hey Ron, are we really sure OG plays hard on defense all the time?" I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure anybody plays hard defense all the time unless they're on the Knicks because we watch them all the time. I don't watch Toronto every game, so I don't know. Maybe OG be dogging it. I don't know.
I think he's a good defender, man. I think he plays it all the time. I'm gonna sit here and say it.
Yeah.
I wish we could get Scotty Barnes. Sheesh.
The problem with Scotty Barnes is Scotty Barnes just doesn't do enough for me on the offensive side, bro. I just like that kid is so talented defensively. Like he is going to command a lot of money. And if this guy don't give you anything offensively, does he work for the Knicks? That's the point. Like he can be like you put. I didn't mean to cut you off, Carly. I was thinking like a team like Milwaukee. We know Milwaukee plays defense and they shoot the three. Yeah. But imagine Scotty Barnes on Milwaukee without them giving up, much.
Next to a Giannis. Oh my goodness. That's like
imagine having Drew Holiday, Scotty Barnes, Giannis, and Kevin Middleton, or out there. Oh, what is Keith Middleton, Kevin Middleton, whatever. I forgot his first name. Chris Middleton.
Chris,
there
yeah.
you go. Chris.
Chris with a K, that's why.
Yeah, that's why you be throwing me off. Imagine having them 4 guys on the team. Like, whew, you know, that's tough.
Yeah, lengthy. You know what I mean? I didn't even mean to say that. I was just thinking about it, man. I gotta stop with the hypotheticals. But
nah, that's cool.
I just want that one, you know what I mean? I want that one dog right there, man, at the 3. Like that one guy that he holds himself accountable. Every possession he's just yelling. He's like mad that his guy scored on him. That's what I want. You know what I mean? Sometimes I see it, but sometimes I don't. And you know, playing for the Knicks, I need to see it every possession.
See, these are the type of things like that I would consider. Lewis Hedges said trade Obi Toppin and McBride for Kenyon Martin Jr. 6'7", good defense. I like Kenyon Martin Jr. and I think he's a nice piece that does something. He's got that explosiveness. He's more aggressive than Obi, and he plays decent defense. And sometimes he is a scoring option for Houston. He has moments. So yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that because I don't think you're going to get top notch a return for Obi at this point. Even though he's young, he's not that young. And people see that he's just not that great on defense, and he's not that aggressive on offense. So that's a knock on him. And then McBride, you're just bringing in a defensive guy who may be very questionable offensively. So
Right.
Yeah, I mean, this might not be a bad move. It might not be.
I didn't even peep this comment. Yeah, that's a good move right there too. Well, no, I wouldn't want to trade both of them. I mean, if I don't know, if it happened, it happened because that's not a bad guy to get back. Kenyon Martin Jr. is solid, man. I like him. That's another guy I like.
Yeah.
Athletic, can defend. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is my A1 trade.
No, I know what you mean.
I consider it. I consider it though.
Because I wasn't even looking at the screen when you said that. So yeah, my fault. Yeah, but now I see what he said. Yeah, Kenyon Martin, that's a good. No, that's a good player too, right there. I see what he's doing for the Rockets. I see him.
Yeah, and because you know the other thing with Obi, guys, you notice that we're not even getting what the best of what Obi was giving the Knicks before, the transition baskets, the out and Obi used to run the court. We're not even really getting that out of him now. It could be how the Knicks are playing, but we're not seeing that right now. So then, if you're not seeing Obi's defensive improvement, if Obi's not necessarily knocking down the 3 necessarily, and if he's not running out in transition and giving you that, then what are you actually getting at the moment?
Right. It's like, what are you getting? I mean, I heard somebody say that the teams figure out what Obi's doing, how he's leaking out. Somebody said that the other day, which could be somewhat true. But, I mean, he also just came back. I mean, let's see if the guy can figure it out. I mean, we have a month before the deadline. Let's see if he can figure it out, how to get his before. But I don't know. I really don't know. Because maybe what if his thing is I'm not going to play him that much because I want him to get traded. What if that is his thing? So I don't know. I can't call it. Tibbs may want the guy to get traded for someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's his thing with Cam right now. So hey.
Yeah, you never know. I see. I hear you, Paris. So okay, I got you. All right, no problem. He said not down on Obi. I wish he could get the time to get his best self, which Tibbs isn't doing. I will say I wish Obi had a more serious competitive personality. Agreed. At Knicks Nation 112, Barnes is raw in 2 years once he matures. Yeah, maybe that's the case. Like, because Barnes, I tell you, when I look at Barnes, and maybe I'm the only one who see this, I see Kawhi Leonard. I don't know why, but I see Kawhi Leonard when I look at Barnes. And, if you guys remember when Kawhi came into the league, he could score a little bit, but Kawhi wasn't doing much.
Yeah, he's more of a cleanup.
Yeah.
Could clean up, get a rebound. Yeah. Had long arms. Right.
Maybe Scotty Barnes might fall into that category. Maybe he's on
right,
that train.
Bro. You're right. Because Kawhi, I did not look at. He was not a scorer, man. He was a good defensive player. That was about it. Athletic. Now this guy, look at this guy is a cerebral bucket. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Both sides. Dorian Finney-Smith that's solid too. Jay Boogie. I kind of been looking at him too, man. But I don't know the asking price. But yeah, shout out to Jay Boogie. He said I had the OB bid. That's what he said. He said me and OB got the same type of bid. I peeped that earlier. That's funny. That's hilarious. But yeah.
Nick Yak says someone else said that they don't think Obi's going to get a second contract. Nick Yak said, "Do you give Obi a second contract in case indestructible Randall gets hurt?" Nah, I think Obi's I think honestly, I think Obi has worn out his welcome in New York just because he just doesn't give them that true power forward type vibe. He's just mismatched. Height wise, he's not tall enough to play center. He's not like a true power forward. And then skill set wise, he's not quick enough with his dribble and be able to move around to guard these small forwards. So because he's such an in-betweener, I think that is why the Knicks won't really look to do that. But this Knicks team is always very surprising. You never know. They shock me all the time. Yeah, I hear you, Francisco. I don't want to give up on Obi, dude, but honestly, these guys in today's NBA, they're welcome to play however they want to play because obviously they were good enough that people saw them and it got them here. What Obi did in Dayton was great. Like Obi looked fantastic in Dayton, and the way they played worked really good for him. And that's why he led the nation in scoring at one point. When you come to the NBA, you've got to find your role. And then when you find your role, you got to be the best that you can be in that role. If you're the guy, if you're the transition guy who gets the fast breaks and the dunks and the shoots threes, then you got to be that guy, but you got to do it well and you got to be aggressive at it because you're putting pressure on the defense, also making them back up off on you, and it allows you to shoot three. So if Obi's going down the court, he's aggressive, getting to the rim. Dudes are like, okay, I gotta back up a little bit, give him a little space so he doesn't drive by me, and I gotta watch him so he doesn't dunk on me, right? But then that gives Obi just a couple steps so he can get off a jumper. But you got to knock that jumper down. Like you got to play off of what the defense is doing, and you got to sometimes dictate the narrative. That's all I'm saying. And these guys are not doing it. Some of these guys, Cams, the Obis, are not consistently aggressive and not showing their full skill set. And then Obi got to work on his handle. If Obi could dribble, we'd be talking differently about Obi. Obi has skills. I don't doubt that, Francisco. He's got skills, but he needs to improve on the right set of skills to be able to take his game to another level and keep the defense honest. The defense ain't worried about Obi right now. That's a problem.
Facts. I'm about to slide up out of here though, man.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I'm gonna take it to the 3 mark. But I appreciate you, Cully. Thank you for rocking, man.
Appreciate you for having me, man.
It's good chopping it up, guys. If you want to see or hear more from Cully, he be on Blorange Tears, chopping it up when he has a moment. But most importantly, check him out on Thursday nights. Knicks after party, right?
Knicks after party, man.
There you go, my guy Cully and Subliminal Thursdays at 11.
Me and my man Sub, man, and Ron, you keep doing you, man. I love your show. I'm always tuned in.
I appreciate you, brother.
Every
Thank
Saturday
you, Cully.
I'm tuned in, man. 11, right? 11 a.m.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I try.
Yeah, because I be so tired from work, man. I don't even. But I be on when I can get on. I be on. I be sitting there quiet. I be listening, man. You be having, you be doing your thing, man. So. And you be doing your thing. I know you do your thing with John too. Sometimes on was it on
Mondays at
right?
9? Yeah, Mondays at 9, and then Thursdays on NBK at 8.
NBK, right. Yeah. So I always catch y'all, man, and y'all be doing your thing, man. Happy to see it.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you once again. Have a great rest of your Saturday, man. Thanks for joining on and chopping it up with me for a minute, man. I appreciate you, bro.
You too, man. We'll get up again soon, man.
All right. Yo, have a good one, bro.
Man. Be easy, bro.
Latest. Shout out to Nev the Disruptor. Thank you for the generous super chat. He said, like I said this before, Obi is a puppy in maturity and he cannot differentiate who is looking for his best interest. That's very true. Very true. I talked about it earlier. No, I was going to talk about it, but then I got sidetracked. And I'm not saying this is not the case with Obi. He don't have anybody in his ear, but Obi needs to understand what is the best way for him to be successful in the NBA, whether that means getting with the right trainer, maybe the people who he works with, maybe he's working with Knicks trainers, maybe those Knicks trainers like Even working with a Knick trainer doesn't mean you're going to get the best from that trainer, because those guys have other guys in their roster. They're working with RJ, they're working with Julius, they're working with this guy. Maybe Obi needs to find a trainer that can work exclusively with him and work on what he needs to do to get better. Teach him different ways to disguise his first step so he really catches guys off guard. Teach him ways to continue to improve on his basketball dribbling, his handle. And then teach him how to play some defense, consistent defense. Maybe there's ways that he can learn how to, shade himself, give guys that first step, but then block the shot from behind. Like, always be there to, like, there's different tricks that you learn in the NBA that these players are so gifted and talented that they can make up for. I don't have all the answers. I'm just saying there's got to be different ways that guys can approach things. We've seen Derrick Rose for a lot of his career. He's not the greatest defender. He gets beat. He used to get beat a lot, but you know what? He would recover so quickly. He'd block the shot from behind. Things of that nature. Thank you, Nev. Appreciate you for that generous super chat. And like I said, I'm not saying that I don't want to see Obi succeed. I just don't know if Obi's going to succeed with these Knicks, with Tibbs, and the way he currently plays. He's got to change something. And maybe it's easier for him to do it somewhere else. I don't know. Yeah, appreciate you, Shah. Danny Lennon said, Ron, Obi isn't Tibbs' favorite. That's unfortunate. Maybe a different coach. Obi would get 20 to 25 minutes a game. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that would help him. That's the thing, Nev. This is the athletic thing that I've always heard. Nev says Obi has the skills to be one of the best defending players in the league. They always say that with regards to these young guys who have good speed and have athleticism. They always say, listen, if you have athleticism and good speed, you can be a good defender. It's true. You could be, but it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of effort. And you also have to have basketball smarts. Sometimes, guys are able to anticipate. So you got to study the game. You got to know what people like to do. Sometimes in the league, as you play guys more and more, you start to learn their tendencies. We saw, was it last year? Yeah, last year, I think. Yeah, it was last year. RJ Barrett worked out with Bradley Beal in the offseason. So you guys remember the first preseason game against the Wizards? RJ locked Bradley Beal down. He only had 10 or 11 points. RJ knew exactly what Bradley was going to do. He worked out with him the whole offseason. So every move he was trying to make, RJ was right there. And that allowed him to play good defense. Sometimes it's about studying the game and understanding, anticipating what guys like to do, where you need to be, and going from there. So shout out to David L. Appreciate you, my guy. Thank you for tuning in. About to wrap up the show, but if you have some time and would like to watch the replay, by all means, guys, also smash that like button on your way in and on your way out. Thank you. Show some love to the show and let that algorithm know we still rocking. Nev, I would throw it in right now, but I've been on for almost 3. I'm about to get out of here right now. But I appreciate you, bro. Definitely on the next one. I look forward to having you if you can come back. Brooklyn Butch says Jay Crowder. Yeah, he's someone that definitely they should look at. My whole thing I worry about Jay Crowder is has he lost the step? Because the way Phoenix has been playing, especially without Booker, you could see that they need Jay Crowder out there, but they refuse to play him. You know what I mean? So what's going on? What's happening? I know guys have differences of opinion, but what's happening? Or maybe the Jay Crowder situation is so bad. I would think it has to be between Jay Crowder and the coaching staff. Maybe it's him and Monty Williams. I don't know. Maybe Monty's just like, no, I can't rock with this guy. And management is like, you know what, we appreciate you, Monty, and if that's how you want to play it, then we'll listen to you. I don't know. Phoenix has got a lot going on over there. It's crazy. Yeah, man. Thank you, Neb. I appreciate you, bro. Next show, definitely. If you're available, you definitely come on. We could chop it up. I think that's it. Yeah, I think I got to error. Oh crap! I didn't do that one thing. Let me just do this real quick, guys. I should have did this when I had Cully. I was just caught up in the conversation. Okay, let me bring it up. Today is, so it's tomorrow. What time is the game? 1 p.m. Okay. All right, guys. So tomorrow's game is at 1 p.m. The Knicks will be playing the Detroit Pistons. Salute Quiet Money. Where you been, bro? How you been, man? Good to see you. Appreciate you. Let's just take a look at the tail of the tape for these two guys. I love to do this because I always get surprised because teams are a lot more closer in how they play than we would expect. So let's see here. For the New York Knicks versus the Detroit Pistons. New York is averaging 114 points per game. Detroit is averaging 112. Knicks are averaging 47.4 rebounds. Detroit's averaging 42. That's not so close. Assist, Knicks are at 22.7. And Detroit is at 22.5. Very close. Steals, 6.6 for the Knicks, 7.1 for the Detroit Pistons. That's close in its own regard. Blocks, 4.2 for the Knicks, 3.6 for Detroit. Turnovers, 12.4 for the Knicks, 14.2 for Detroit. Field goal percentage, 45.5 for the Knicks, 45.4, for Detroit. 3-point percentage, 33.8 to 35.6 for Detroit. Who knew Detroit shot it like that? Well, Bogdanovich helps a lot. Free throw percentage, 77.6 to 77.2. Once again, guys, as I like to say all the time, these teams, when they come together and you look at their averages, they're very evenly matched. And then when you look at the Knicks, once again, 24 and 19 and sixth place right now in the East, as opposed to the Detroit Pistons, who are 12 and 34. But just look at the numbers of how both these teams play on average. So points in the paint, 51.9 for the Knicks, 46.1 for Detroit. Second chance points, 17.4 for the Knicks, 15.2 for Detroit. And then fast break points, 12.3 for the Knicks and 11.7 for Detroit. So, if I was looking at this, I'm going to say that because a lot of these offensive stats are similar, not too much with the rebounding. That's big. That can affect losses. For the most part, a lot of other stuff is very similar. Even the points, like 2 less points per game. So it looks like the biggest difference between the Knicks and Detroit is on the defensive end, which we don't see here. But you just looking at this, guys, that's what it looks like to me. So I'm thinking the Knicks should win tomorrow's game. I think they'll be in a good position to do that. If they don't, that would be a definite letdown. I don't think there's much to say. I don't know. Predicting scores, I don't know. Knicks win by at least 10. That's what I got. They win by at least 10. And maybe they hold Detroit to less than 100 points. Yeah, that's what I would think. I don't know what you guys feel about in the chat, but tomorrow is going to be a very interesting day. We got the Knicks playing Detroit at 1. Then we've got the New York Giants in the playoffs at 4 o'clock or 4:30 against the Minnesota Vikings. So we'll see. We'll see. Almighty Finesse says easy W tomorrow. Appreciate you, Quiet Money. Always a pleasure. Francisco says, will Mitch take a jumper tomorrow? He also says we got heart. Yeah. Craig says it's a must-win game because they might get an L against Toronto on the back-to-back. Good point. Good point. Yeah, we got to win that game tomorrow. Bricks Nation says, have a good weekend, everyone. Go Giants. Yes. Facts. Nick Yak says, let's go, Gino. David L says, we can be a top 6 defense with 1 win. Quiet Money says, book the damn win. Francisco Correa says, Vikings. Oh, yeah. I know. And then Paris Duggar says, maybe Johnny Bryan is that coach for OB and Cam. Don't be surprised if Rope-a-Dope coach is a temporary thing at 65. I've yet to see it, Parrish. Out of this giant team, this Knick team is so loyal to Randall and RJ and Tibbs. I don't know, bro. I don't know. A-Train, thank you, man. Appreciate you. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. We'll see you on the next one. As I always say, guys, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knick fans, we'll be back again, whether it be on Monday nights at 9 p.m. for SKF Weekly with myself, John, and Jose chopping up, on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. on the Nothing But Knicks channel, NBK, the NBA Report at 8 p.m. with myself and John and Jose in the background, or on Saturdays at 11 a.m. for Know the Ledge. Thank you guys for being here. Tune in again to the next one. If you're coming in late, watch the replay. If you got nothing else to do, I appreciate it, man. Hit that like button on your way in. Hit that like button on your way out. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love to the show. You guys are always here rocking. It's used a lot, but it's not going to change on my show either. You guys are one of the best chats in the building, if not the best chat. You know what I mean? I appreciate you guys. You show mad love. Shout out to everybody who joined me today. Shout out to Jay Boogie. Appreciate you, my brother. Shout out to Uncle Freezy from Blorange Tears and the Blorange Tears Network for showing some love. Guys, if you're not familiar, if you haven't checked out Blorange Tears and Uncle Freezy, please do so. A lot of content over there. He's on all times of the day, all times of the night. He's got other shows that pop up on there as well. As mentioned earlier, Knicks After Party with Cully and my guy Subliminal. That's on Thursdays at 11. Check out Blorange Tears and show love and support them. Appreciate them as well. That's pretty much it, man. Shout out to my guy Shot Powers too. I always love to shout out the shows, and I forgot to shout out his show with my guy Divine. Knicks Real Talk, man. Always positive feedback and positive input on our New York Knicks, showing mad love. Thank you. Shout out to Danny Landis for showing up and being on the show. Appreciate you. We had some issues audio wise in the beginning, but then we got him back and the audio was crispy. Appreciate you. Shout out to Cully once again. Thank you for being here. And shout out to Nev for almost being here. I know he would have been on the show if we weren't finishing. So thank you, Nev. Man. Thank you guys. Unfortunately, Jay Boogie had did a track for the Giants. But I didn't have it at the time, so I couldn't play it for you guys. I hope that the Giants win tomorrow. So that means that they'll have another game in the playoffs, and then maybe we could play that Giant track on Monday or something. So shout out to everybody. Thank you guys once again. I appreciate y'all. Have a great rest of your Saturday. Let's go Knicks. And for those who are Giant fans, let's go Giants, man. Appreciate y'all. Great show, says Ashley Inc. Thanks, Ashley. Appreciate you. My guy Wiz in the building. All right, guys. So as I always say, be good. And if you can't be good at it. I'm out of here.